Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. It's a beautiful day for the Cleveland Cavaliers to clinch the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. I know I said that last time. I know I said it on Sunday, but it's an even better day. I don't remember what the weather was like on Sunday. The weather's not great in Cleveland today, but it is sunny. That's about all you can ask for. It's cold. It's cold as hell. It's Uncle Fonzie said it's cold as hell out there. Spring needs to stop teasing us. I need it. I need the full thing already. They keep giving us a taste. We want the full load of spring, as Paul Pierce once said. And anyways, yes. We're starting off on a high note. Why is the stream so loud for me? Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. John Michaels killing my eardrums right now. All right, I just had to adjust my volume there. But yeah, I'm tired of spring in Ohio teasing us, just like I'm tired of the Cavs teasing us. It's time to get this number one seed. All right. I don't know what we're waiting for. We lost a stinker to Sacramento. That was a bit frustrating. Tonight, we're playing against BG Chicago Bulls, and I haven't seen the updated injury report, but I know when I checked about an hour ago, basically no one on the Bulls is playing. BG might be suiting up for Chicago tonight. I don't know if he's even in the chat. He might be on the court warming up right now because everyone is injured on the Chicago Bulls team. Let me check. They might show us the starting lineups right here, but like everybody was either out or questionable. I know Josh Giddey and Vucevic were questionable. Everybody else was basically out, so look, the Cavs, let's just get it done, right? Why delay the inevitable? Let's get a dub tonight, become the number one seed. Well, we're already the number one seed, but let's clinch. Let's clinch number one in the East. I think it's a good day to do that. I don't know what anybody else is thinking, but I know the Guardians also just won. Did not watch the game, but I saw it was a thrilling 1-0 score, I think was the final score to that. So that's a lot of fun. Go Guards, right? Everyone in here, I know you guys all know I'm the biggest baseball fan ever. I'm the biggest baseball nerd, but good for the Guardians. It's definitely not as beautiful as it was this time last year with the solar eclipse, the like 75-degree weather. Yeah, Uncle Fonzie was there, probably freezing, cold. Like we said, last year it was like 70, 75 degrees. We had the solar eclipse. It was awesome. I had last year, this isn't where I plan on taking the conversation, but last year during the solar eclipse that morning, I went and had the best cold brew coffee I've ever had in my life. It was at, I think it's called Coffee Therapy in Westlake. It's the only time I've ever had coffee there, and I'm afraid to ever go back because that coffee was so good that there's no way it'll ever live up to the first time I had it, right? Like the second time is just going to leave me disappointed. There's no way. There was something weird going on that day, right? We had the solar eclipse, the stars, the universe was like aligning. That cold brew is the greatest thing I've ever tasted. And I have not gone back because I just know maybe next time there's a solar eclipse, I'll go back. Maybe next time. But I don't want to let myself down. I don't want to taint the reputation I have for that place. I'm kind of joking. I've been getting the urge to go back just because I've been thinking. Obviously, the solar eclipse was exactly a year ago today, so I've been thinking about that coffee. I'm like, damn, maybe I should just give it a second try, anyways. Maybe it will live up to the expectations. It's called Coffee Therapy, I think. Let me double check if that's the name. It's in Westlake. It's kind of by Crocker Park. Yes, Coffee Therapy. It's a newer shop. I think it just opened last year. It's just a tiny little place. Listen, if the coffee sucks and it's not as good as I'm hyping it up to be, keep in mind, like I said, the stars aligned the day that I tried it. That was just a special day, maybe. But no, it's a very nice little. Oh, sorry, Jackson just sent me a text. Disrupted me. Yeah, it's a very nice little coffee shop. So it's new. I think it's very tiny, but check it out if you're ever in the Westlake area. I can recommend it off the one cold brew that I had. It was amazing. But yeah. Give me 1 second here. Just get back to him real quick. All right. But yeah, as I've been saying, the Cavs, they can clinch number one in the Eastern Conference tonight. Hopefully they just go ahead and get it done. This could be a playoff preview. This could be who we play in the first round. Does anyone know why Moondog is dressed like this, by the way? I've been wondering that. What is he dressed like? What is this outfit supposed to be? Hey, Tony, even though everything worked out for both, does Denver and Memphis make the Cavs firing JB look more respectable? Aura, that is a great, great question because that's something that I thought about earlier today, too. It's like, wow, if this precedent was set earlier, Would the Cavs have fired JB last year before the playoffs? I don't know, but we'll talk more in depth on that later. Corey is in the house. The real Corey Walsh is in the house. No imposter today, no hacker, unless this is an advanced AI rendering of Corey. I think this is the real deal.
Or however you pronounce that Twitter AI thing.
Yeah, this is the real Corey in the house, ready to watch the Cavs get the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Lock it up, right? Yeah, your mic was a little quiet. It sounded like your mic was maybe connecting to the wrong one there. It sounded like
Love that.
Now you sound more clear.
That's great. Love that. That imposter could never replicate my technical issues.
Yeah. If the imposter AI Corey has flawless audio, you know that's your tip off that something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey, has anyone given you the full story of what happened? I know Jackson sent the text, but have you heard the full story?
I have not heard the story, but I could only assume.
Okay, so I wasn't there either. This was Jackson doing a solo stream, and basically I've seen the aftermath, but I'll just give you my version of what happened. Okay, in the playback chat, you've heard this story already. Bear with me as I repeat myself like a senile old man. So I went to go see a movie. Go ahead.
I do need the VIP.
Oh, let me give you that real quick before I go into the story then. They haven't.
And then I'll share my screen and I'll show you guys.
Yeah. The game hasn't started yet. They're doing the starting lineup. So let me give Corey VIP real quick. Isaac Okoro is starting. Let's go. Who let Okoro start? I may have sent Kenny Atkinson a note.
The Patreon money is already paying dividends.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I may have slipped something into Kenny Atkinson's mailbox this morning. Just a little hint. But yeah, here, give me 1 second. I have to steal a VIP from someone, so that's why I'm getting tripped up here. Let's see. My lovely playback VIPs, we appreciate you. We respect you. Somebody is about to lose it, unfortunately, just for the game, just so that Corey can get his. Let's see. Let me check who's in the chat real quick before I take anything away. I want to make sure that I take from someone who's not here. I didn't see the injury report since like an hour or two ago, so I don't know if Craig was added to it. When I looked earlier, he was not on it. Okay, I'm going to take it from Fur LNBA.
Yeah, I was going to say, is the Wemby guy still calling that pass?
He was here like a stream or two ago, so he has shown up a couple times, but he's not here right now. And since we know for a fact that he is not a Cavs fan, appreciate him being here, but we know that he has said he's not a Cavs fan, so I'm going to take it from him.
Unbelievable.
Give it to you. Okay, the VIP has been removed. Now I got to make sure I give it to the right Corey. No, I'm kidding. That the VIP wasn't the issue. So here's what happened. All right, as I give you your VIP right here. Bang. Okay, so I'll do the quick version of the story. It was whatever day last week. I wasn't streaming because I was going to see a movie. And so as I'm sitting down in the theater, I say, hello to everyone in the chat. I type in the chat real quick before the movie starts. Get out of the movie. And I have a text from Jackson that says, the Fear the Sword playback has been hacked. It's not looking good. And that was like 20 minutes. It was like 20 minutes late. Like I saw that when I got out of the theater. So I'm like, what? Like, what is going on? So I go immediately to check the playback chat, like the stream, and it just looks like a normal stream. It's just Jackson and the chat watching the Lakers game, nothing weird going on. So I joined the stream real quick and I'm like, Jackson, what happened? And he explains that basically somebody created an account named Corey Walsh with the same like tag and everything, just completely impersonated you and was in the chat, asking Jackson, like, let me on stage. Like, I want to be on stage, but it's not letting me. Like, can you you have to make me a creator. And so Jackson, I'll give you your VIP back for NBA. We just had to take it to give it to Corey. Give me a second. I'll juggle them around again. I checked. I didn't see you in the chat, so I took it from you, but we'll get it right back to you. Anyways, to quickly wrap up the story before we get to the game. Someone impersonated Corey, asked Jackson to make him a creator so he could come on stage. Jackson, can't even blame him, fell for the trap. I probably would have fallen for it too. Made the fake Corey a contributor, and man, did it immediately turn to hell. We had swastikas, lots of Nazi propaganda, apparently there was some not safe for work videos being played on the stream. So thankfully I wasn't simulcasting to YouTube as we see Okoro. Oh, no. Oh, dude, come on. First minute and a half, he's down. That looked bad too. Not to jinx anything, Okoro is made of titanium, so hopefully he's okay, but that looked like a hard fall. God. Oh, man, right on it, too.
Whew. Right on the tailbone.
Yeah.
Tony,
Let's
you're a
see this.
doctor.
Ooh. I'm a doctor. I'm saying he's all right. Even though it didn't look like
Hell
it.
Yeah.
I'm just, that's my wishful thinking pedigree right there. Okay, I'm going to give Ferrell NBA's VIP real quick. I got to take it from someone else. Let's see. Yeah, if anyone isn't aware, we only have 20 VIP passes we can give out, so that's why we're constantly trying to juggle them around just to make sure, like, you know, if someone who's usually a VIP isn't in the chat today, we'll give it to someone different, and then if they come back, and you know, it's a constant juggling act, but we make it work.
Yeah, I do have to change my tag.
Yeah, they impersonated the tag and everything.
You know, honestly, dedication.
Yeah, it's like I said, I can't even blame Jackson for falling for it. It was pretty creative. All right, but yeah, for LNBA, you have your VIP now. Let's lock in. Let's pay attention to this game. So Okoro's still on the floor. Like I said, the dude is made of titanium. We'll see. Allen's off to a good start too, by the way. That the hook shot and then the dunk right there. But we'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself and act like Okoro's fine. Once he sits down, that's when the pain might creep back up, and we'll see how hurt he actually is. Right now, he's working off momentum, and you know, when you land on your tailbone like that, any like hip injury, back injury, sometimes it's once you sit down, you realize, oh shit, I'm not getting back up. So we'll see what happens when he goes back to the bench. That's Tony PhD, the doctor here, letting you know what to expect from Okoro's injury.
Pesta HD. Now that just sounds like a YouTube Call of Duty channel.
Yeah, really, the old Call of Duty montage.
Welcome to my Quickscopes channel.
Oh man, yeah, Jarrett Allen, good move. So, no Josh Giddey today, no Vucevic today. Lots of injuries for the Bulls, Cavs. Like I said, this could be a preview of the playoffs. We could very well play the Bulls in the playoffs first round. So, can't really take too much away from this because everyone's injured. No Mitchell either, but you know what? Yeah, the Kidler wouldn't mind setting a little statement here. You know. Yeah, look at this injury. I mean, Lonzo, Io, Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones, Giddey, Vucevic, everyone's out.
All it took were all of these injuries to happen for apparently Patrick Williams to have confidence. With him sticking a three in the first 2 seconds of the game.
We do have to fear little Boozy Vert, Modest Bazelis. He's been balling lately. Boo Boo, as they call him.
Oh no. Come on.
No Craig Porter, yeah. Old kid, I'll get to that in 1 second here. Good move by Mobley. Yeah, a little scoop layup right there. So we talk Mobley a ton and for good reason, but what does J.A. average as the primary pick and roll guy with a spacing 4? Would he push 18 plus? Yeah, I mean, like, this is something that I've said a bunch of times is like Jarrett Allen doesn't really get the credit he deserves for being as versatile and dynamic as he is, and as he's developed in Cleveland too. Like he's become way more than just a straight pick and roll guy like he was in Brooklyn. Isaac Okoro, let's go. But because Evan Mobley is like the unicorn type of player, which by the way, there's a Bill Simmons take I have to get to, but we'll come back.
The
to
unicorn
that,
of the year.
We'll get to that in 1 second. But to finish my thought, oh my God, Patrick Williams. Come on, man. Don't let Patrick Williams' magnet ball be the thing that blocks us from the 1 seed today. That would just be disastrous. Oh, nice. Yeah, that was a foul. But yeah, Jarrett Allen, if he was like the primary big on just like a regular, like if he was on the Pacers as the starting center, he would be putting up not like crazy numbers or anything, but he would get a lot more respect, I guess I would say. People would talk about him a little bit more. He may even be an all-star if he was like the starting center for Indiana or something like that. But because he's like the fourth banana in Cleveland, he's going to get overlooked.
If Jarrett Allen was on the finals team, that the Mavericks finals team of last year, he would have ridiculous stats. He just needs to be on an offense where they like actually emphasize the pick and roll a ton. I mean, when the Cavs offense was primarily pick and roll based with JB, Jarrett Allen did put up good stat lines, a decent amount, and that's when he made his all-star push. So just imagine it though with less options like those Mavs teams. Like all Luka really look what Luka's doing with Jackson Hayes right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, just put him on the Lakers. Put him on the Lakers. The PR boost that comes with that too. Like, oh my God, Jarrett Allen would be making $60 million a year.
All Luka Doncic wants to do is suck out the other team's big guy and then put him in a blender for pick and rolls and give their centers the easiest rim looks of all time.
Lobs all day. But the Bill Simmons take that I'm guessing you saw, I honestly don't even know if this was real. I'm guessing it sounds like it was real, but there's so many disastrous or just hilarious Bill Simmons takes that it could have been fake. But apparently he called Amen Thompson the NBA's greatest unicorn. Bear in mind, he quite literally has a carbon copy of himself that plays in Detroit. Like, he is literally an identical twin. The exact same players for the most part. But he's the unicorn. I just love, like, what does Asar Thompson think of that? Is it like the 50 Cent meme where he's like, what are you saying F me for? Like, I'm not a unicorn. I'm the same exact. It's literally me. If they switched jerseys, you wouldn't even know. So
like the Morris twins, where there was that conspiracy theory about who played in the playoff game or something.
Yeah, the Cavs right now are playing a little. I wouldn't say this is like uninspiring basketball to start. Bulls shooting the ball well right now. That would hurt. Okay, I was going to say that would be officially magnet ball territory.
Or not DeLon Wright.
Javon Carter.
Javon Carter. Oh my
God. They all blend together. These
they don't even look similar.
Oh, there we go, Mobley. Yeah, I didn't even realize during the course of that Sacramento game that Zach LaVine shot like 15 for 21. Like, I didn't even realize the absurdness of what was happening.
Well, I mean, the guy couldn't miss a three-pointer if it killed him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. And I didn't even notice it in real time, but then afterwards I was like, geez, he torched us.
It just like they came in in waves almost. Like they were just clumps of open shots. I didn't feel like he really necessarily hit tough shots against the Cavs. I feel like the sequence was just Kings grab offensive board, kick out to Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine has an open look, knocks it down.
Yeah. Dr. Manhattan says the unction part 2 happened to us. Honestly, it was the unction part 3 because James Harden and Kawhi kind of gave it to us in the Clippers game, mostly Kawhi. And then Kevin Durant went crazy on us in the West Coast road trip. And then DeRozan and Zach LaVine decided to ball out against us. Although I don't know if Zach LaVine's really in Unk territory, but DeRozan. His
knees are in Unk territory for sure.
his body might be. Also, before I forget, I got to plug this tweet. I tweeted it yesterday, but I have to plug it in the playback chat. All right, we got the 3-point contest going on. The Cavs have not picked their best shooters for the 3-point contest this year. The half court, we got some straight shooters in the half court contest, but I think the last guy who did this made one. Not sure if this person's going to make one. Doesn't look too encouraging. Dylan, I'd agree with that if they could practice before. Oh, he said, screw it, I'm throwing it one-handed. See, the thing is, I get the practice shot, but they are taking 15.
Oh!
They get 15 attempts. So, like, you get, like, a solid warm-up in. All right, here, let me plug this tweet for you.
Oh! 2 of them. Let's go.
Honestly, the first guy from yesterday or Sunday's game, his jumper looked way better, and he only hit one. So, shout out to this person.
Andy, overhand. Okay. Oh my goodness.
There's no telling. The spin on that ball shouldn't even be physically possible. I don't even understand how the ball was spinning the directions it was spinning.
How old was that person? I
couldn't.
Because then I just saw he had a neck tattoo and I got thrown off.
Yeah. Okay. This
14-year-old
is how I feel.
I want a neck tat.
This is how I feel doing the playback chats with the way the chat talks about me sometimes.
Yeah, it's tough.
They treat me like I have gray hairs or something. I do have some gray hairs coming in, but you can't see it on this little tiny screen. Did you guys cover the Malone firing yet? We haven't really talked too much in depth about it. The only thing that I mentioned, which this is interesting to me. We'll talk more about the actual firing itself, but one thing that I wondered is like, if this stuff had started last year with these coaches getting fired right before the playoffs, I wonder if JB would have been fired because by all accounts, he had lost the locker room and he was all but fired like once the season ended. And so I wonder, like, would the Cavs have done it or does it just kind of put into a different perspective where you're like, okay, Kobe Altman, respectable job of handling that entire situation, because I actually don't think they would have either. I think they were going to let him run the rest of the season out, and that's the thing with Mike Malone. It's like, what are you gaining from firing him? Right? Oh, geez, Alan, the Andre Drummond approach of getting some rebounding numbers. The Malone one's more surprising to me, music, because it's closer to the playoffs, right? Like the playoffs are a week away at this point.
I think it's the closest ever.
Yeah. And like, listen, I don't think Denver could have won the title, but they're a lot closer than Memphis, in my opinion. Like I think there's a way. I mean, where are they in the Western Conference? They could still.
They're about to be in the play-in. They're like,
or are they really?
Yeah, they've lost like.
They've lost four in a row, I think.
Yeah, they're 4-9, I think, or 5-9 in their last 14.
Well, so the thing is, everyone in the West is so close.
It's so congested from like the 4 to the 10, I think.
Yeah. They're 1.5 away from the 3 seed, and they're half a game out of the 7 seed. Or sorry, the 8 seed.
Yeah,
so it's
right
like
now Lakers are projected to be third.
Yeah. They could be 3rd or 8th with like pretty easily still. So that's where I'm just like, all right, maybe they finish in the play-in and then it's a little more understandable, but I just feel so strange to basically, I'm not saying you're punting on the season by firing your coach, but are you really giving yourself a better chance by changing it up right before the playoffs start? I kind of don't think so.
So I heard this theory kind of spun by Zach Lowe on his new pod that he put out. He put like an emergency one out today. And he was saying that he thinks because I guess Jamal Murray, like a week ago, Michael Malone came out in a press interview and said how Murray might not be ready for the postseason, like by the time it kicks off. So Lowe is suspecting that maybe the news is pretty bad on that, and he might not come back for the first round, and then he knows that they're out. So he's like, I'm just going to clear the deck now.
Yeah.
That's like the only reason that he could think of.
Yeah. From that perspective, it's like, I guess like more understandable, but still to me, like, I mean, just wait like a couple weeks, I guess, but sure. Like it's just,
I guess he really liked their assistant too. It's like one of those things. Like the only pushback I have on the JB thing is that I think, because with the Memphis thing with Jenkins, it was like they made him fire his whole staff in the offseason and then brought in all the hand-picked people on their end. So that's why he got taken out, because they wanted a new team approach. And I guess there's like a clash of conflicts and stuff between like ideologies between the assistant coach that's now the head coach and Malone. I think that JB was filled with a bunch of guys that really bought into the JB system. So you really weren't going to change like a radical team approach. Like what's Luke Walton going to do that JB wasn't doing? That's like his best friend. That there's a reason why he's in Detroit.
That's what one thing that we talked about in the podcast too, back in like, a year ago today, basically. It's like, hey, you can't just fire JB. You kind of need to clean out shop if you're going to change the coaching staff, like entirely new look at this. And so cool guy. I didn't see any of this. Like, I don't know if there's any specific reason he was fired other than basically like they wanted to move on. They wanted another Mobley 3. Hell yeah. 2 in the first quarter here. I don't think I know people speculated like, oh, there must be some crazy controversy or something. Did he kill somebody? Like something like that. It's like, I think it was just, they just didn't want him as head coach anymore. Like he just lost the locker room. They didn't see a future with this pairing anymore. And they wanted to move on.
I saw that that the Athletic said it was because like there was like major cultural conflict between like the GM and the coach. Like the organization basically became two factions. You were either a Malone guy or you were like with the GM, and it kind of was something that like hung over the organization. And it really came down to like they were like really upset that Westbrook was playing over young guys because Malone has, for as long as he's been there, has been anti-young guy. He's like just wanting to play the veterans, and like I think it just got to a point where they're like, I don't think we're gonna do much. This Murray thing is our exit window. We're just gonna take it.
Yeah. Ben Pfeiffer in the chat says Bulls are back. I'm hearing. Listen, nothing will stop the Chicago Bulls from being in the play-in tournament. There's like any preseason predictions you could have. The number one thing that you can lock in as soon as the year starts is the Chicago Bulls are going to be in the play-in tournament, and they damn well might win it this year. I think this is the year they finally get out, and they may end up being the Cavs first round playoff opponent. So this is kind of a playoff preview, despite the fact that Mitchell's out and a lot of the Bulls players are out. I've been happy for the Chicago Bulls because, like I said, they've been kind of in purgatory in the play-in, but at least now, like, Buzelis looks like a legit player. Josh Giddey, I don't want to give too much credit there. He's having a good season, but it's just, we're not.
I want to see what postseason Giddey looks like when they actually don't have to worry about who's shooting in a series.
Yeah. The Kobe White in March is always just a flamethrower. So, yeah, good to see you, Ben. We're cooking up a junkyard pod with Ben soon. We're going to be talking NBA awards and stuff like that. I'm sure we got plenty of Defensive Player of the Year stuff. So, obviously, if anybody here isn't already following Ben on Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, make sure you check him out. He does great coverage of the NBA and especially draft prospects. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I even said hello to anyone in the chat, by the way. I don't think I did our usual hello. So I'm just looking now. Hello to Dylan, Dan, Aura, Brilliant Damage, Kiki, Triz Wayno, Cavs LQ, Demo, Old Kid, Furl NBA, Uncle Fonzie, Ben, Cool Guy, Dr. Manhattan, Music, and Nate. What's good, everybody? Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Yeah, that was rude of me not to say hello to everybody.
I like how every single one was a username and Nate.
Well, Nate _B. So, yeah.
Tragic.
Yeah, Jackson says, Cavs, stop exploiting the olds. One day that'll be me out there. So they should definitely, I hope they're getting paid appropriately.
You'll be wearing that Letterman jacket in the third row.
Yeah. Ben, have you seen that Caitlin Clark video, that clip of her in practice that's been making the rounds? Did you see that, Corey?
Yeah,
the WNBA.
They said that was I thought it was a ball sack sports thing.
Was it actually?
That's what I thought.
Oh, I hope it's real. I thought it was real. It's her in practice against like the
men's team,
squad.
Right? And she just absolutely drains the three.
And it's like not even just regular three. She is like chucking these things up from like 6 feet behind the 3-point line, double team, triple team, one-legged. It's like 5 in a row. I'm just like, good Lord, she was frying them from every spot. It was crazy. So
to be fair, I did see the video on Twitter. So there could be some men on there who are really self-conscious there, and they could have drank the Kool-Aid.
Well, if you look at the replies of it, it's all like they're like screenshotting one person on the court looked like he was like pretty big, but I'm like, it's college basketball. Like sometimes there's just there's like the Zach Randolph build is still eligible in college. You know what I mean? Like the just traditional post player. So yeah, so all the comments are just like verified accounts being like, it's not that impressive. She couldn't do that against me. Stuff like that. It's like, yeah, she'd probably torch you too. But that video.
See crazy. What I do at the Y. I make people concerned.
Yeah. Also, like even a practice player at the Division I level is torching everybody. They could go to any park in America and just fry everybody. And so acting like those guys are scrubs or anything like, oh, let's see her do it against the real team. Oh, she probably could do it to a lot of real teams. I mean, I just don't. without going into too much more of a rant, I don't know how you watch that video of Caitlin Clark just burying like 6 straight 3-pointers over double teams and be like, yeah, it's not that impressive. That's cool as hell. So, yeah, that's my take.
Wow, Tony, way to stand on your soapbox. That's such a controversial take in this environment.
Yeah. Yeah, anyone who's ever played with high-level women hoopers will tell you. When I was in, like, 7th grade, we had someone my apartment complex had, like, a little basketball court there, and we had someone who was I forget where she played, but she played college basketball, maybe even been Division III. And now I know that I was, like, in 8th grade or whatever, but it wasn't just, like, 8th graders there. There were some grown men playing too, and she was cooking everybody. And that was my first introduction at, like, 8th grade of being like, "Okay, yeah, like, there's levels to this right here." Tony thinks they should lower the rims, I'm hearing. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. They got to lower the rims, maybe, add some new gimmicks or whatever. I'm just kidding. Yeah, women's basketball is great. Women's basketball is a lot of fun. I can't wait for for Cleveland to have a WNBA team so that I can become a true
the Rockers
WNBA
coming
sicko.
back.
Yeah, they're coming back in 2027, I think is when it's supposed to happen. So I can't wait because I just need a team to root for. I just need someone to like a specific team to get my interest, because I'll watch it casually, but I'll become like a real sicko when I have some investment into it.
Yeah, I have the Suns, and they just traded the Jokic of WNBA basketball, so my life's over. I had a good run. Also, every time Caitlin Clark comes to Connecticut, the tickets go from like $20 to $320.
Good Lord. Yeah,
I almost, baby. Pfeiffer knows. Let's rip. It's like the most jarring thing to walk into a casino and be like, I'm going to watch like a basketball game. It feels like just so much lesser than I feel so bad for the Suns. They don't get their own.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
that's bad. Wild.
It's like it's a decent sized arena, but it's just take them out of Connecticut. We don't need it.
Oh man.
Rest in peace to Alyssa Thomas, no longer on the Suns. It's the Sun, by the way. It's not.
Oh yeah, just the Sun. Yeah.
Because Mohegan Sun.
All right, Evan Mobley posting up here on Zach Collins. Oh.
All right. Well, Zach Collins is an elite defender, so that makes sense.
We got the Dean Wade, DeAndre Hunter lineup. Dean Wade only played, I think, 3 minutes in the last game. Am I remembering that correctly? And I have no idea why. I don't think he got hurt or anything.
Wasn't he coming off of illness or something? Yeah, maybe
that was why. Ooh. That was good defense there.
I know, that the postseason is kind of going to fluctuate end of season grades, but I was thinking about that recently for Fear the Sword, what our end of season grades are going to be. And I feel like if I got Dean Wade, I think I'd have to do like a pretty low grade, I think, compared to most. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to sit down and try to organize my thoughts on that, because I feel like beginning of the year he was awesome, and it just kind of hasn't really panned out since then. But like B- seems reasonable off the top of my head. Like I said,
I was thinking C+, B-, but I didn't know if I was like being too harsh on it, because we know Jackson thinks that our grades sometimes are a little. Or mine are a little harsh. He thinks yours are a little too generous.
Yeah. Well, it's because I'm always harsh on Sam Merrill and very friendly to Isaac Okoro, that it's just almost like created in a lab to make Jackson upset. So, but Dean Wade, I guess if you put it this way though, remember back at the start of the year when a lot of us were wondering, like, could Dean Wade as the starting 3 be the legit option? Like, is this going to be the thing that emerges? And it just became very clear over the course of the year that, not only is he not the starting 3, but also now that we have DeAndre Hunter, he's not even really the backup 4. He's kind of like just an extra piece, which is kind of nice having Dean Wade be that like extra cherry on top, because when he's healthy and confident, the dude is awesome. Like, he's so helpful. And so not relying entirely on Dean Wade and his health and his confidence is a nice luxury for the Cavs, but it's also been maybe a disappointment if you came into the year with a bunch of Dean Wade stock and we're like, he could be the starting 3 for this team. That didn't really pan out, but where he is now is like, where is he? Where even is he in the rotation? Like 8th or 9th in the rotation? Like that's Dean Wade being your 8th or 9th man is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think, though, it is an indictment on Dean Wade that we went from a conversation of being like, we need Dean Wade to kind of be the team that we need to be, to now being, well, now that we have Hunter, Dean Wade is not necessary. Like, he's not as necessary as before, which I don't know. Yeah. You have to decide whether that conversation is more about Dean Wade's talent versus the Cavalier needs.
Yeah, as Ben says, Okoro has a higher true shooting this year than Donovan Mitchell makes you think. Yeah, I've been pointing this out for a while. Okoro, more of the offense should be run through him. You know, like he's kind of blowing everyone else out the water there. But no, he's been good. Okoro's genuinely been good recently. Just the way they use him as a screener, he's doing things out there. As Jackson likes to say, he needs to be a basketball player. He looked more like a basketball player recently, which is cool. And I think they could even use him a little bit more. Same thing with Dean Wade. Like Dean Wade's felt underused, says Demo. I kind of think since his injury, they've been keeping him in bubble wrap, which that's a really good point too. If you think about the end of the season, Ben, I was trying to find when he came back from the recent knee injury. I don't know exactly when that was. I was looking at Basketball Reference to try and pull that for you. It's loading, but I know he was out with an illness recently. And then let's see.
I would say, though, with Wade, too, it's like the injury in combination with that whenever he comes back or even like at the start of the year, it always becomes the conversation of he's never as ready to shoot as we needed him to be. Yeah. And it feels like if he's not taking the 3-point volume, he's almost invisible on offense. And for as good as it kind of becomes an Okoro discussion of like, if he's not knocking down those perimeter shots, he actually probably, I could argue, has less offensively to give than Okoro does.
Because Okoro's so good at attacking the rim.
Yeah, because like,
and he has some playmaking a little bit.
If Dean Wade's not that high, like medium volume shooter from 3, you can't be like, oh, but he's good at cutting to the basket, or he's good like as picks, like a pick setter. He doesn't roll to the basket. He doesn't really pop either. It's kind of like he just is in that. It kind of feels like he's trapped in the JB development cycle still.
Yeah. I guess Dean Wade has, like, bear with me with this term, the more explosive offensive. It's like,
he can higher ceiling for sure.
Like against Boston where he scores like 20 in the fourth quarter or whatever. Like that can happen. But as far as like versatility and being a more well-rounded offensive player, Ty Jerome. And yeah, as Ben says, Okoro's 3-point shooting is translating to the playoffs this time. I swear it too. It's going to happen this time. Nothing's been more painful for me as an Okoro truther than watching him shoot 40% in the regular season and then starting a playoff series going like 0 for 8 and then riding the bench the rest of the way. We need it to translate. Yeah, as Cool Guy says, we say that every year, but this time I mean it, Cool Guy. It's going to happen. Another 3. Sam this time. Can I say something real quick? I know I'm rambling a lot. But Sam Merrill, he's shooting like 37% from 3 during this stretch, and he's getting so much hate from Cavs fans. And I get it. I think he's playing probably a little too much. Like, I think he could go Okoro more often than times, but I feel like Sam Merrill is just people are being very rude to Sam Merrill. The 3-point percentage has not been that bad. And also, like, he's just not the reason they've lost a couple games. Mobley, pull up 3. Ooh.
If Sam Merrill's not making threes is the reason the Cavs are losing games, then we have bigger problems than the fact that Sam Merrill isn't hitting his shots.
Yeah, and it's not even like he's putting up, like, 20% shooting or anything. It's just not the 40, 44% that we know he's capable of. As Ben says, maybe he just needs a quick mission trip. We're going to get a week off with the plane and everything. Maybe he needs to go back to BYU, kind of clear his head, get back into a rhythm. But yeah, he's been like, I've said it all year. I love that Kenny Atkinson has given Sam Merrill a larger leash on offense because, again, this isn't meant as a diss towards JB, but if Sam Merrill missed his first 2 shots, it's like he was out of the rotation for a week and everyone was banging the drum like, we need more Sam Merrill. We want to see more of Sam Merrill. Now you're getting a whole lot of Sam Merrill. And everyone's like pissed off. And to be clear too, like, we're getting a lot of him, but he's still, it's not like he's closing games or playing that many minutes or like tanking lineups. They're still doing good when he's on the court, at least as far as the ratings go. So I think Cavs fans have just been a little rude to our boy Sam.
They always are.
Maryland Filipowski on a bender is crazy, Corey. They'd have
season of White Lotus.
Crazy game nights over there.
Yeah.
Some Mountain Dew and Monopoly. Who knows what games they play, but it must be crazy over there. Oh man. All right, I feel like I have not locked in for this game yet. So when they come back from this timeout, I'm going to try to figure out what's going on. I don't even know what the score is, guys. Are we winning? What's the diff? Who's got the diff?
I have not seen someone lose this game.
7 plus 7? Okay. Yeah. Okay. It felt like we were winning, but yeah, I've been out of the loop here, so I'm going to try to focus back.
He's been defending his boy Sam Merrill.
It's true. Someone has to do it. I know Jackson's been on the front lines, but every once in a while someone needs to give him a rest, And I've given him some bad grades, Sam Merrill. He's had some bad games, but I just feel like I go on Twitter and people are like, Sam Merrill is a terrorist. It's not quite that level, all right? It's not the Niang level of like disaster class. He's been fine enough.
Ben, my backyard is actually a complete shit show. This is just my porch.
Oh my. Wow. That honestly blew my mind. I thought that was your backyard the entire time.
No, this is literally my deck. And then under the deck is a bunch of leaves and sticks that have just built up.
Wow. Yeah, well, I have some updates, by the way. I'm going to manifest this. My plan before the playoffs start is to upgrade everyone's favorite wall. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I'll hang up some posters or something. I'll get some stuff up there. Maybe I'll get a little bookshelf. I want the production to look better for the playoffs. Dan says leave the wall alone. Listen, if you start a petition and you talk me out of it, maybe I will. But I do want to try and make this look more like a legit setup. So I'll probably sometime this week or next week when we have all the time off, that's my plan. Another Mobley 3. Hell yeah. Listen, we may or may not have a certain Evan Mobley hater, a certain friend/enemy of the pod back on the Junkyard Pod soon for everyone. We've been in contact with a certain, like I said, he's an enemy to some pods. He's a friend to others. He's been an Evan Mobley hater. Jackson got in contact with him recently to give us an update on what he thinks about our Cleveland Cavaliers. So we may be doing that. So keep an eye on that. Dean Wade 3. Now the Cavs are starting to get it going. I would love a game where the Cavs hit like 23s. It's been so long since it feels like they've had a good shooting night.
Are you putting the bond temps on the Patreon?
No, that'll be available to everyone. We can't gatekeep the bond temps episode.
That'd be diabolical.
Yeah.
In this tariff economy, though,
Cavs fans hate bond temps so much that might actually be worse if you put it on the Patreon. They might pay to avoid the Bon Temps episode.
They're like, I'll pay you to never release that.
But no, I think it'll be fun. Just to get an update. Yeah, we gotta do blind resumes with Mobley and Draymond. That would be kind of fun. All right, Cavs. Ty Jerome, open 3. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. It feels like a 3-point barrage, right? Like, I'm pulling up the box score right now just to check, but it feels like they're shooting the ball really well. Well, there you go. 5 of 6 3-pointers. I didn't even have to look. This quarter alone. 5 of 6 from this quarter. It's been 4 minutes. This is crazy.
How worried are you of Cavs' first-round matchup on scale of 1 to 10? Well, I did just release a Fear the Sword article where I did. Depending on who it is, though, I think I had the Bulls as the lowest on the threat level. And it's mostly because I don't even think they know what their identity is going into a series. And the talent gap is going to make it kind of a snooze fest. And I don't think it's really much of a challenge to adapt to whatever their counterpunch is.
Yeah, I would have either Chicago or Miami as the easiest team for us. I keep leaning towards Miami, not because I'm taking that, I'm overlooking the demon Spo, right? Like I'm not ignoring that, the devil magic that they have every year. It's on my radar. I understand what they're capable of, but the talent level on that team is just not good right now. Like, they have guys, don't get me wrong, Bam, Tyler. I know they have other guys, Wiggins. Like, I don't think they have enough to beat the Cavs. I don't think Chicago has enough either. I don't think any of the bottom 4 teams do, but Orlando's the one team that I want to avoid the most just because they're going to bang you up. They're going to be physical. Chicago, Miami, zero fear. Atlanta, zero fear as well, but I still have PTSD from the 2021 play-in, or 2022, I guess. So basically, what the question was, how worried are you on a 1 to 10? Adding all that together, I would say I'm a 1 out of 10. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, I am kind of in the similar boat. I did have Orlando as the 5th most team, 5th highest I'm scared of. It was I disagree with you in Miami, though. I put Miami above Atlanta.
Okay,
just because
that's fair.
Like the SPO factor of it all, because we've seen a Miami team that everyone has assumed is under-talented and undermanned for a playoff series. And yes, you could say the Jimmy Butler element.
I was going to say, Jimmy Butler changes that for me.
Yeah, I still just feel like, though, there is, like, they always find these guys that could just be good role players. And while they don't have Butler, like, you could say that Herro might become that offensive valve for them. But being dependent now on Bam and Herro is tough.
Yeah, playoff Herro world not moving you. Look, like Bam, they still have pieces, and obviously Spo is going to get things done. But I trust Kenny a lot too. Like, I think if you asked me last year with JB as the head coach, I may have been a little bit more worried, just because, we'll see what JB's able to do this year in the playoffs, but the adjustments have always been a weak point for him. And so I could see Spo just putting on a masterclass. This year, that's not as much of a concern. Like, anything Spo is going to throw at Kenny, I think Kenny will be able to answer and throw back at him. So I feel pretty good about the first round. And honestly, I feel pretty great about the second round too, unless we run into the Pacers. Then I'm like, maybe like a 6 out of 10 worried. I still think we beat them. I'd probably pick Cavs in 5 or 6, but Indiana has emerged as the second team to me that, like, legitimately causes me some concern. Boston's by far the number 1. I think I would still pick Boston to beat the Cavs in 6 or 7. Granted, 6 or 7 games that could go either way. Indiana's the only other team that I think, like, could legitimately give the Cavs problems. And then after that, maybe New York or Milwaukee on a long shot could give the Cavs problems, but Indiana. So, Jarrett, to answer your question, there's a couple reasons. One, the Pacers have really put it together on both sides of the floor recently. I don't have the numbers here right now. I can pull them up when we do a podcast episode on it, but they're just able to do it on both sides of the floor. They have the rim protectors. They have the physical perimeter defense that worries me. Like, if you just look at the Cavs regular season matchups against them, Indiana did a really good job defending us. And then on offense, Siakam's a guy who can get tough buckets. And Tyrese Halliburton is just a one-man wrecking crew. Like, I have this vision, a bad vision, of no one on the Cavs' point of attack defense being able to hold Tyrese Halliburton. Okoro is like 0 for 7 from 3, so he can't be on the floor. Darius and Donovan and Max Strus are having a hard time staying in front of Tyrese. Allen and Mobley are overhelping, and it's just 3-point central every time down the court. So that's obviously worst case scenario, because I don't think, like, that's not the most likely scenario. That's everything's going wrong for the Cavs and Indiana's clicking. But they just have, I would say, the more realistic path to giving the Cavs problems than like Milwaukee or New York putting it together. Because I think Milwaukee and New York just have too many glaring weak points that we can exploit, whereas Indiana's a little more well-rounded. Like, I think Indiana has a lower floor than those teams, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm way too high on Indiana. It's possible that I'm too high.
I'm with you on Indiana. I'm not. I put Milwaukee in the bottom half of my ranking just because I don't think it's like they're gonna win. They're gonna win a game or two just because Giannis has a good night. I just don't, especially with the Dame calf thing. Like, we don't know necessarily if he's guaranteed to come back, and if that's the case, I feel even worse, because then it goes talent gap. It's gonna be Giannis, huge drop. Then it's Kuzma, Prince, and Brook Lopez are basically who you need to kind of build a series to defend against. And those are names that, while they've been decent for the Bucks in the regular season, Prince has been really good. I just still don't think that is going to really be something the Cavs should worry about.
Yeah, the depth is going to give them a huge advantage over a team like Milwaukee. I didn't see what happened with Deal or No Deal. Did anyone in the chat, was anyone paying attention? I saw she had the 500 and the 50 left. I didn't pay attention. They did not get a deal. What did they walk away with?
It's Deal or No Deal Island now. All right.
Oh yeah, right. Isn't that with is that Parvati from Survivor that does that?
She did this past season, yeah.
Okay.
Pfeiffer knows.
Yeah. Parvati. Maybe one of the, not maybe one of the GOATs, definitely one of the GOATs, maybe the GOAT. But I still haven't caught up on like any. I'm still really.
You're anti-Sandra, dude? Oh, dude.
I am a little anti-Sandra. I got to be honest with you. Just a little bit. She definitely robbed Parvati, in my opinion. But hey, it is what it is. And okay, I'm not crazy, man. I'm not.
No, you already staked your claim.
I won't say I'm anti-Sandra, but I'm more of a Parvati supporter. I think
he's more of a Russell Hantz guy, Ben. We all know it. He loves Hantz's play style. Tony knows he can operate the island like that.
I don't think he should have won either. Well, he didn't win, but like I think
it
was right that he lost. But yeah, I think he was a better. Honestly, I may have had him second in that season. I would have had Parvati 1, Hantz 2nd, Sandra 3rd. But I understand why the jury didn't vote for him. Like, yeah, he wasn't being a dick to me. He was being a dick to them. So I'm a little more lenient, right? Like if I had to live with that dude for 38 days, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'm not voting for this guy either. He sucks.
I mean, Coach knew it. He knew he just Coach was like, he's not a holy man and honorable like me.
Man, does Coach have a podcast? I could just see him having like a cryptocurrency podcast at this point.
Dude, I would.
Maybe I'm being harsh.
Almost instantly.
Maybe I'm being harsh to Coach, but I could just see him getting up some questionable business adventures.
I mean, who knows? Coach does have questionable beliefs. I mean, there's that season where he literally has a cult as his tribe, which is freaking crazy.
I have not gotten to that one.
It's like he literally gets this whole group to buy in, like on like they just go hardcore Christianity. It's crazy. Man. And like they have like confessionals with some of the people on there, like, I'm not even religious. Like they're like, this is crazy.
I can't wait to catch up on more seasons. Oh, okay. I've seen him. Yeah. He is fiery.
That's a nice word for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Even more than that. Yeah. He's not, I mean, not that Russell is very charming or anything, but I enjoyed watching Russell more than I enjoyed watching his nephew. His nephew just was legitimately like a problem. Like this.
His nephew gives me Miles Bridges vibes, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Yeah, Jarrett asked, have you guys ever been on a double date with your girlfriends? Corey lives like states away. So the answer is no. Me and Corey have only been able to meet up once. But Corey and Jackson have technically been on a double date. I was just the fifth wheel there. So it was a lot of fun. Tony wouldn't have let them burn Russell's hat. Yeah, I would have said, guys, if we do this, then we're just like him.
We gotta be better.
No, I probably would have burned his hat too. Like I said, it's easier for me as a viewer to be more lenient towards him. If I was living on that island with him, I'd be pissed off.
Ben, I'm going to get this comp to you. You let me know. I think Tony would be a JT type of player in Survivor.
I think that's the greatest compliment you could give me because JT in the season that he won is maybe the best winner that I've seen. He may be the most, like people say that, the competition wasn't that great. They say he played against plumbers and mailmen or whatever, but
he was the Bob Cousy of his time.
Yeah. Keep in mind, I've probably only seen like 12 Survivor seasons. I'm still very early. I haven't gotten to the new era really. But JT was a baller. I'll give Tony more strategic credit than JT, but I'm sure.
Yeah, it's true. I don't think you'd write Russell Hantz a letter being like, I'm giving you the immunity idol because I trust you so much.
Is that he followed up one of the best like wins of all time by making one of the craziest plays ever. Now, I will say, upon learning that they hadn't seen Russell's season before recording that, it makes it a little more understandable, but it's still.
I know, they're like, poor Russell, he's surrounded by women. It's a women's alliance. I'm going to send him a letter.
You don't give up the immunity idol. That's the one thing that I've learned. You never give up the immunity idol. The hidden immunity idol, the regular immunity idol, you get that and you hold on to it for yourself. You don't give it up. Yeah, the country boy got fooled.
He was just an honest man.
How many seasons are there? Aren't they at 50 now?
48.
Oh, 48. Okay, they're coming up on 50. Yeah, there's a lot of seasons.
And then Ben will be on 51. And I'll be on 52 if I ever hear back.
Imagine a season with Ben and Corey on opposing tribes.
I'd be like,
and then
wait,
they make it to the merge.
I remember you. We follow each other on Twitter. No, we'll say like, oh my God, you watch basketball too? That's crazy. No way.
A Survivor season featuring only mutuals on Twitter.
Oh my God. They have never met each other in real life. They're like, wait, it's like when people who played World of Warcraft together, like in the mid 2000s, would meet up in real life. Yeah. They're like, oh, whoa, this is what you look like.
Darius pull up. Oh my goodness. This is what I wanted, right? Just complete barrage from the 3-point line. Let's get our rhythm back. Let's just get our groove back. I'm going to pull up at the next, probably at halftime. I just want to pull up what the Cavs have been shooting from three in like recent games and compare it to what they're doing right now, because this has to be, it's only one half, but this has to be the best 3-point shooting half they've had in a while. It feels like
this feels like beginning of the season type stuff.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see coming up to the playoffs. Like, I don't need them to exert crazy energy or risk getting hurt, but let's see the shooting numbers start to fall back in line, because a lot of guys have been struggling here recently. Just pulling up their box scores here. So I don't know what they're shooting from three right now. I'd have to pull up the ESPN box score too. No, I'll wait till halftime.
Raising the question, what do you think about the Cavs having 0 losses with Donovan out? I feel like I don't have the schedule in front of me that they played. I would assume that when Mitchell's out, it's mostly like strategic. So they kind of selectively pick their spots. But this was also right after the ankle thing too. So I assume that's also a part of it for this instance.
I would say them being undefeated without Donovan Mitchell just further establishes that Isaac Okoro needs a larger role on this team.
Wow. You know? Honestly, creative angle on your part.
Ooh, that was a beautiful pass. This is everything that I hope for from this game, is that Darius Garland looks like the all-NBA Darius Garland that we had for the first half of the year and hasn't really been too noticeable. He's on fire right now.
There will be people in the NBA media who will look at this game and be like, who are still trying to find their fifth spot for all NBA and use it to discredit Donovan Mitchell would also be my counterpoint. They'd be like, well, see, like, how important is he? Because look at these stats. No. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh. That was a
had some pretty monster blocks. Yeah.
Jalen Smith always balls out against us. I can't stand Jalen Smith.
He's had some monster blocks to start this game, even though they're getting
YMCA
crushed.
Goggles.
Yeah. I remember a lot of people wanted him in free agency this year. I would have gladly taken him. I'm happy with the way the Cavs roster ultimately was built, but like, I know he was a popular target. Pacers legend. Yeah. That's how it goes, man. That's the Karis LeVert experience for me. Every time I see him balling in Atlanta, I'm like, that's a Cavs legend right there. I miss Karis. And then I'll look back at my tweets and I'm just like, please God, no more Karis LeVert. I can't do this anymore. Stop torturing me like this.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder. You're like, wow,
seriously.
Those were the great days. I was thinking earlier this week too. I was like, if the DeAndre Hunter trade was Hunter didn't was in at this level. Let's say he was at a C+ level. Would the trade still be an A for the Cavs because they were able to offload Niang and all the bad memories? Or how bad would have DeAndre Hunter had to have been for that trade to not be in the Cavs' favor?
Was it addition by subtraction? I mean,
it's so funny that you said that because I was just thinking about that today too. Just because people were tweeting like, wow, what a crazy year for like transactions in the NBA. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, the Cavs offloaded Niang and LeVert for DeAndre Hunter. And like, again, like so many times on the podcast, on the streams, I just kept saying like, listen, I think Niang and LeVert can be helpful players, but I've reached the point where we got to get them off this team. And it's like, you just have to mix this up. You can't win a championship with George Niang in your playoff rotation. And you might not be, I love Caris LeVert. You might not be able to win a championship with Caris LeVert as your sixth man because he's just way too streaky. There's games where he literally loses you basketball games. It's like, not quite, it's nowhere near as bad as Russell Westbrook, like currently, but it's kind of similar to that where it's like, yeah, you can look at games, you're like, wow, Russell Westbrook's helping a lot. And then you look at games, you're like, wow, we literally lost that game because Russell Westbrook just destroyed everything in like a 2-minute stretch. Like that's the type of stuff LeVert would do to a lesser degree. And so if you're going to win a championship, you just need like a baseline level of contribution from your bench. And that's what DeAndre Hunter gives you, even when the dude isn't rebounding or passing the ball. It's like, okay, well, he's shooting 40% from three, so that's nice. Same thing with like Dean Wade that we mentioned. It's like, there's games where Dean Wade's invisible on offense, but I kept saying over and over again, I'd rather have a guy be invisible than be like actively hurting us every time down the floor. Yeah. So that's kind of where I was. It was like, well, we got rid of two guys who could actively hurt us on any possession for a guy who's been a pretty overwhelming positive, even when he's not doing the intangibles.
Yeah, it's kind of just crazy though, because there was a period of time where the Nuggets were dangling Michael Porter Jr. around, trying to see what they could get for him, and DeAndre Hunter was shoot.
Yeah, it switched. We could hear you though. It sounds like it switched. There you go.
Yeah, with DeAndre Hunter, he was a name that was getting proposed to get traded straight up for Michael Porter Jr. And then only a few months later, the Hawks go from that package to Caris LeVert, George Niang. And it's just like the Cavs, like, it just kind of shows you the value that they got back considering what they gave up. Like, yes, but Caris LeVert isn't expiring, I'm pretty sure, right? Or was it next season? I couldn't remember.
No, I think he was expiring.
Yeah, so he's an expiring, and we got off the Niang contract for a serviceable player who could arguably be a sixth-man or starter that we are now having basically as our seventh man on this team and performing at the highest level that you probably can in those minutes. So,
and they got him without giving up Jalen Tyson. They didn't give up a first-round pick, right? Wasn't it a pair of second-round picks? Am I remembering?
I thought it was a second round. I didn't remember a first or a swap.
It's a swap, but it's a swap on swap. So it's like we swap with Utah and then Utah swaps with Atlanta is one of them. And I think it's a first rounder maybe, but either way, you did it without giving up Jalen Tyson, and which we all assumed you'd have to give up at least Tyson in any of these picks. And originally, Greg Porter Jr. was supposed to be in the trade. That's what it was originally being reported as. Somehow, maybe the reporting was inaccurate, or Kobe Altman managed to talk him out of it because we ended up keeping Greg Porter Jr. And so again, you look at it, it's like they didn't really give up any of their future. And not that Jalen Tyson and Greg Porter Jr. are the future, but you didn't give up any future chips. And you managed to hold on to your picks. And you got rid of two guys who you probably couldn't win a championship with anyway. So it's like, damn, Kobe Altman, the madman. I mean, think back to the trade packages that we thought we'd have to give up of like, again, Porter, Tyson, picks, all that. You got him for the two guys who we were already ready to move on from.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think there's enough credit in the national media for Kobe Altman to be executive of the year because nothing is going to, like, I don't know. I feel like there should be more credit for having confidence and staying pat than kind of shuffling the deck and having a good, like, I imagine, I don't know who's the favorite right now, but I would assume Pelinka is probably up there now just because that Luka, I think Nico Harrison's probably a close second for being radical.
Yeah,
but,
he's got to be.
Yeah, it's a coin flip between the two for sure.
I'm going to check out of curiosity while you continue.
Yeah, I think there needs to be more credit thrown outside of Cavs fans who are like, because I think Cavs fans too, like, I think I'm not speaking out of turn that you and I think Jackson was the only one who truly had confidence in the bench going into this offseason.
Dude, I was so low on that.
You and me, like when we did that group roundtable, we gave it like I think we gave like near failing grades of how we.
Yeah, I gave them like a 1 out of 5 for confidence. I think
I thought it was an atrocious decision. I could not see the vision whatsoever. Did not think the coaching was going to heavily impact the bench. I think we spent a lot of time thinking of how it would impact the starters. Not so much.
We didn't see Ty Jerome being who he was, right? Like we thought Ty Jerome would be like a third string point guard. He's six man of the year caliber.
We were just making jokes about Mr. September. That was like all we had to do.
That's the main thing I think that changed it. It's because like we were basing it off of last year's bench, which Caris LeVert, he was really bad for a long time last year, and he was injured and everything, but like he was really bad. Niang was really bad. Merrill seemed like he just was never going to get minutes, right? Like he wasn't part of it. And it just, Okoro, we're hoping, could he give us anything? And yeah, we were wrong on that.
Yeah, I just think I think a lot of the awards are when you're caught by surprise or someone does something flashy, especially for executive of the year. It's never way to stand by your guns, be confident in something, make a minor change, bring in a new coach, and know that the roster that you assembled was the right choice. And I mean, the Cavs are on a historic pace. So I think that would be as good of a reason as any to win executive of the year. But I don't think I've seen one time Altman be mentioned in that.
Yeah.
And now it seems like Atkinson is going to lose to JB for coach of the year too.
I'll be honest with you. I think that would almost make me more upset than the Draymond defensive player of the year stuff. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't make me that upset, but to me, it's just like, and JB's having a fantastic year. He deserves to be probably second place, but it's like you directly see the difference in JB and Kenny. Like they're like directly intertwined. You replace JB with Kenny Atkinson and you jump. I'm pretty sure the Chasedown mentioned this, and maybe I think I'm remembering this correctly. We've won 17 more games this year. That's the same amount as is that the same amount gap as the Pistons? Am I remembering this correctly? Have we improved the same amount of wins? Is that not accurate?
I think
that's what they said.
No.
Let me
that
try
would
and
make
look
sense.
real quick.
I was gonna say that I think that that to your point, it's like if Kenny Atkinson's case is that he took a team much farther into a higher level than the guy who's in second place.
Yeah.
He's doing that alone should kind of be your only case you really need to make. The Cavs are on a historic pace when replacing the guy who you're also arguing could be up for that award. Like, yes, but JB also had to go from the lower floor of the Pistons being a basement dweller and being faced with coaching malpractice versus a competent Cavs team that was a consistent playoff player here. And then they took that leap. Like, I think Steve Kerr probably won Coach of the Year when he took Jackson, and that is the same narrative. But now it's like just because the Pistons went from near first pick in the draft to this, it's like, wait, whoa, that has to be so much harder. But if, let's say, Detroit had a better coach last season than Monty Williams, like just give him like an above average coach, would there be this much discrepancy? Probably not. It's just competency is showing in that organization versus not,
Yeah. And like, I don't want to take anything away from the job JB has done. He's done a great job in Detroit. But if you just compare, like you were already kind of building to, is like, all right, the Pistons, they made a lot of changes over the summer, right? Like they added a lot of new talent that makes sense around Cade Cunningham. I mean, good Lord, they had 0 3-point shooters around him last year. Monty Williams was coaching malpractice. The roster sucked. And then you look at what Kenny's done here with the Cavs leap. It's the same roster. We picked up DeAndre Hunter at the deadline, sure, but he entered the year with the same exact roster. No Ty Jerome either. We'll give credit there. But like the point is, Kenny Atkinson has taken this roster that JB was, kind of flailing around and kind of stagnating with, and has taken them from 48 wins to 64, 65, wherever we're going to end up right now. It's like that jump, as Old Kid mentioned earlier, that is so much harder to go from a good team to a title contender than to go from like bottom of the bottom to, being in the playoffs. Like, that's a respectable jump. But when you have young talent like Cade Cunningham who makes a leap, you add pieces around him, veteran pieces, 3-point shooting, the roster starts to make some sense, and a good coach, it's easier to go from a lottery dweller to a legit playoff team. Like, it's not easy, it's hard, but it's easier than going from where the Cavs were to where they are right now. And then you factor in the fact that, like, the roster hasn't even changed. Kenny Atkinson is just getting more out of everyone. I don't know how you can not give it to him. I think Ben mentioned it earlier too. This push for JB might just be like, we have to make the awards interesting, so let's talk about other guys too. That's kind of what I think it is. I would bet Kenny Atkinson wins it.
Yeah, I think then at that point it'd be like, all right, then why didn't JB win Coach of the Year when the Cavs made a similar jump under Bickerstaff that same time? They're true, like they're mirror images of each other in the sense of the team just out of nowhere rising to the next level. But I would say, to defend JB in this season, I think it's kind of more impressive what he's doing with the Pistons this season, given the talent that he has at his disposal, than when the Cavs did. It was just they finally were able to add their final pieces in that. I think Detroit's still a few years away from reaching their final form as a team too. They're kind of just working with a lot of mismatching parts.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll round out my thoughts on that just by saying, like, JB's done an incredible job. He's done such a good job with that Pistons team. I think the reason why Kenny Atkinson is going to get it, listen, if the Cavs were a 58-win team, the second seed, Kenny Atkinson probably doesn't win Coach of the Year. Maybe, but like it's not as clear cut. To me, the fact that we're not going to finish with the best record in franchise history, but the fact that we've had these huge winning streaks, the fact that we had the best start in franchise history, we were on pace for 70. This is a historic season for the Cavs. It's not just they're really good season. This was one of the best, probably going to be the second best regular season the team has ever had. You kind of have to reward that, right? Like, JB deserves all the credit in the world. If the Cavs weren't having a historic season, then I think you'd have more of a case. But Kenny Atkinson has just gotten so much out of this team. You had 3 All-Stars. You you're going to fall just short of the best record in franchise history. You got to reward that. Pistons would be the second team since 2000 to have the Coach of the Year winner below 47 wins. Any guesses on who the other was? Okay. Coach of the Year winner below 47 wins.
I feel like it's going to be like in the late 2000s. I just can't. It would totally be Tibbs. With the post-Derrick Rose injury, they'd be like, that was so impressive. Or Philly in the 8th seed, Brett Brown.
The problem is I don't have the Coach of the Year recollection like that. I don't keep track of who's been winning it really. So that's why I'm like trying to think of like who. I'm just trying to think of previous Coach of the Year winners. Damn, who could it be? Tibbs had. Oh, okay. So that was the COVID year.
Oh, I think he's saying that didn't count though.
Yeah.
Would it be Billy Donovan on the Thunder? With that Russ.
Ooh, that's a good pull.
Damn.
2000. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Wow, so you're since 2000 was that it was 2000?
In your hints.
I thought it was an arbitrary year.
Yeah. Real quick before the second half starts, I wanted to pull this up for everybody. So the Cavs are shooting 54% from the 3-point line in the first half. We'll see, what happens in the second half. A whole bunch of basketball left to play. But they're shooting 54% from the 3-point line right now. Let's just look at their last few games, what they shot from 3. So against Sacramento, 26%. Against the Spurs, 43%, pretty decent. After that, I'm just going to start listing them off. 32%, 33%, 37%, not bad. 35%, okay. 44, pretty good. 22%, 37%, 38, 34, 25, 23. Like, they had a lot of games here where they were shooting below average. A couple games where they shot pretty well. if they shoot above 50% here, that would be, let's see, how many times have they done that this year? They've done it 1, 2, 3, 4. They've done it 4 times this year, shot above 50%. If they do 5, 6, 7, they've done above 48% 7 times. So having one of your best 3-point shooting games of the year after, really like multiple weeks of kind of floating below average, that would be pretty sweet. So let's hope that they keep it pushing in the second half.
All we need is for the Bulls to make a really good play and push. And then we can get the matchup of our dreams.
Your mic got switched. I could still hear you, but it got switched again. The dip is 18.
I'm seeing how this works.
Okay.
Does it sound any
like the dip to be? It sounds better than the previous one, but your general mic definitely sounds better. Like the whatever mic you use normally.
Yeah. We'll see if that works.
JB did beat Kenny head-to-head without Cade. Yeah, that honestly impressive for the Pistons. That was a great game for them. Like I said, I don't want to take anything away from JB. I really don't want to frame it that way. They've been great. It's just hard to ignore a historic season from Kenny is my main point, which I don't know how good of a job I did articulating that. I think I got a little mixed up when I was trying to explain it, but basically because the Cavs are having such an incredible season, like it's not just a regular good season. This is one of the best ever for them. Ooh.
At that point too, it's like, why is Dagnall not being lifted up to the same standard? I mean, they have like one of the best net rating of all time. And and they're putting JB ahead of him. Like that just, I get it. It's like the story of it all, but
it goes back to what you were saying with the shock value, right? Because like everyone kind of assumed that the Thunder were going to be the number 1 seed in the West. Like a lot of people saw this leap coming. Granted, probably not to this degree, but a lot of people expected it. And no one expected the Detroit thing.
Yeah.
Big to big. Let's go. Yeah, Aura, that's what I was trying to say. Like a lot of people, the Thunder were like the darlings coming into the year, and I've definitely bought into the hype too. And they've been, Ben, preseason Thunder title pick. Like a lot of people were projecting this leap from them, and it's credit to them, dude. It's been even better than I think anyone even predicted, right? Like they could have won 70 games. They were right on the door of 70. We'll see where they finish.
They just got the break speed off them by the Lakers.
Yeah. Ben, has your title pick changed? Do you still have Thunder winning the title?
Did you have it? Ben, did you have them winning over the Celtics, I assume?
Also, they had plenty of injuries too, which
that makes sense.
Crazy to even add to it, right? Like Chet missed a lot of time, Hartenstein.
Who had OKC over Detroit?
You're about to be a very rich man.
You're about to just be loaded. When Malik Beasley takes them to the promised land because everyone's doubling Cade on when he crosses half court. Oh,
yeah. I would like to give a mild apology to Malik Beasley. I scoffed at the idea of him being 6th man of the year a few months ago when we looked at the odds. I still think Ty Jerome should be ahead of him. I don't know what the odds are now, but upon further review, Malik Beasley's having a pretty fire season in Detroit. So
I think Jerome's third. I think is
it Beasley second?
Yeah, I think it's Pritchard, Beasley, Jerome last time.
I would have Jerome ahead of Beasley, but it's certainly not as ludicrous as I felt it was like a month or two ago.
Jerome is fifth.
I don't get why no one seems to understand what Ty Jerome did this year outside of Cavs fans.
The Rosillo podcast did him no favors. Unbelievable.
I know, right? We thought that boost would have been generational. He needs his own podcast, is what we
Russ! Oh, come on.
What? Russell Westbrook is ahead of him?
The guy who just got Michael Malone fired?
That is insane. Honestly, even DeAndre Hunter being ahead of Ty Jerome is kind of crazy to me. Like, and I like DeAndre Hunter. I think he deserves to be in the conversation. But, like, guys, this dude, Ty Jerome, has been like a point a minute all season. He gets on the floor and he'll play like 15 minutes and he'll have 18 points. It's just every single game he's torching people. And even when he's bad, even when he's like not really doesn't have the shot going, it's like he'll shoot like 2 of 5, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 5 points. Like, that's it. Like, he's not like going 1 of 10 or anything or having like disastrous games. Pritchard 6th man of the year. That's fine. Like, yeah, that's fine enough. If anyone has Pritchard ahead of him, I think that's fair enough. It's the fact that he's been so far out of the conversation. Doesn't bother me that much because, like, I don't really care that much about 6th man of the year, but it's been surprising to me.
How dare you?
Yeah.
This could be all we have.
Looks like he's having no problem getting around the floor. This could be all we have. Yeah. You're taking every award away from us.
We're not allowed to have nice things.
Mobley just tried to baptize somebody. Missed it, though. He missed it.
I think people just look at the 12 points a game for Ty Jerome and just go like, what?
Yeah.
Why is this guy up for consideration? You have to look at the minutes that he plays too, but that's never factored in.
You literally just have to watch him play and like take into account the minutes, and you would see it right away. Yeah, that was a crazy burst of speed from Taylor Horton Tucker right there. He just beat everyone down the floor.
That's why
he's a defensive liability. Yeah, right. Dude, Lakers fans were pretty hype about Taylor Horton Tucker for a while. He was untouchable.
Hype about Jalen Hood-Schifino, who never played.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. Is Peyton Pritchard really a defensive liability? I don't know if I would go that far, Nate. Like I don't think the gap defensively between PP and Ty is that big. Yeah, he is short. I'll give you credit. He's shorter. He's shorter than Ty. Ty being 6'5" helps a lot. Over under 2.5 Cavs making all NBA. Yeah, I gotta go under. I gotta go under just because second half of the year, like Darius was already probably on the borderline just because of like the name recognition. I feel like even if he continued playing the way he was, would the voters have voted for him? I don't know. Now, when you look at it, the numbers have dipped quite a bit. The Cavs haven't been as good, which here's something that the Chasedown pod brought up, and I tweeted it. It just kind of puts everything into perspective. Think about, like right now, think about the type of surge that the Warriors are getting from the media coverage, the way we're talking about them. They're back. They're title contenders. They're playing so good. Draymond, Defensive Player of the Year. Steph Curry, All-NBA first team, which, like, sure, some of those things are, fine and dandy. They're playing great. Then think about the Cavs since the All-Star break. Man, they're kind of letting go of the rope a little bit. They're slumping. They're not really playing their best basketball. Are they frauds? Blah, blah, blah. Both the Warriors and Cavs have the same amount of wins since the All-Star break. They both have 18 wins. Cavs have one more loss because they played more games, but they both have 18 wins. And so I understand why it's a different vibe for each team. One team was on pace for 70 wins. The other team was on pace for Cooper Flag. I get it. There's a different vibe there, but it's important to keep all that in mind. Be like, wow, okay, the Cavs slumping is the same as the Warriors resurgence. And so when it comes to like the awards, even like Draymond Green, Defensive Player of the Year, feels a little crazy to just hand it to him with, for a good month of performance when the Cavs are kind of like right there with them. But anyways, back to the All-NBA thing. Because the Cavs have fallen off a little bit, I think it's going to cost them Darius Garland. Unfortunately, he will be sacrificed. But Mobley and Donovan Mitchell better make it.
I've been hearing from a few podcasts I listen to that people who have votes are considering taking Mitchell out for Mobley.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people
for the first team. That's what I mean.
For first team. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people. It's like they have their 4 locks: Giannis, Jokic, SGA, and Tatum. And then when they talk about their 5th pick, there's a lot of guys that get mentioned, but the 2 Cavs get mentioned, Mobley or Mitchell. And there's kind of a debate. Like, would you rather have Mobley or Mitchell? Ben has Mobley first team. And I think you could definitely put Mobley first team ahead of Mitchell, just in terms of both sides of the floor. People look, I say it all the time. I probably get annoying repeating myself. We focus so much on Evan Mobley being a Defensive Player of the Year type of player. He's averaging 21 points per game. He's knocking down threes. He's taking people off the dribble. He's they're running inverted pick and rolls with Mobley and Sam Merrill. Like, there's been an offensive leap on top of him already being like, if not the Defensive Player of the Year, second in the running, first team all defense. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think that Mitchell's latest shooting stretch up until like a few games ago definitely hurt him in his case. On top of I'm not saying this is my opinion. I just feel like this is what I've been reading and hearing is that it just seems like the people who were looking for a reason to discredit Donovan Mitchell's like stats decrease, quote unquote, are going to point to these stretches and say that it isn't because he's so selfless with the ball or he's changed his like level of play. It's more now like, oh, it's just that he's actually slumping and the team's picking up for it more than he's sacrificing his role for the betterment of the team, which is what's actually happening.
Yeah. What's up, Cleveland Cavaliers? Welcome in. Also, that previous player right there, I want to highlight that because Darius Garland, I think, doing my best to lock in and watch the game while we talk about a million different things. But right here, the dribble moves, giving it up and cutting right to the hoop, that's something we saw a whole bunch during the first half of the season. I feel like that movement, the decisiveness, dancing on Taylor Horton-Tucker for a minute, stepping back, getting him to bite, then just giving it up and cutting to the rim. That type of activity we haven't seen as much recently. And Darius all game has looked more like the Darius Garland that we've come to know and love. And that right there, I think, is the quintessential play that shows it. It's the off-ball activity. It's being one step ahead of the defense. I mean, some of the passes that he's thrown in this game. Here we go. A hockey assist right here. Let's go.
That was sweet.
Assist for Darius Garland, but hockey assist for the Cavs, which is another metric that I've been looking at, is like the ball movement. They've been getting a lot of assists, but the hockey assists have been down because they're not, collapsing the defense, swing to each other. Like the Cavs just look a lot better over the last few games here. More like themselves, especially tonight. I mean, Darius is doing it all. This is vintage DG. 85-58. I hope BG is not witnessing this. I hope he decided to enjoy his day instead of watching this beatdown.
Oh, Patrick Williams.
Hey, you know what? They're walking away with something.
Hey, you got to make that contract worth it.
Okoro.
Got to respond.
Yeah, the Cavs, it's been a week or two since I looked at this, but the Cavs have been like secondary assists leading, top 5, like way up there in terms of secondary assists all season. But then they had a stretch in like March where they fell down to like 20th or 25th or something. Those numbers may have changed. It's obviously a small sample size, so it could have changed drastically, but it had dropped off significantly. And I think it's because the extra pass just wasn't being made. Guys weren't moving as much without the ball. And tonight, we've seen a lot of that. Granted, it's against the Bulls skeleton crew, but regardless, like, hey, I just wanted to see it back. I just want to see the Cavs play with some rhythm and a groove and confidence to them that they haven't really had as much recently.
And we're watching the Patrick Williams game right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, like I said, at least they're walking away with something here. Oh, Sam Merrill just gave it up. Oh, that was a dirty move right there. He may have It looked like he maybe jumped and landed 1-2. Like he may have traveled here. I want to see.
I think he did travel or double dribble or something.
Jumps 1-2. I don't know there, but I mean I'm not complaining that much. But I can't really tell if he jumped or if he was just taking his strides there. I don't know. Looked like he jumped. Doesn't matter. Cavs up 16. They're still shooting the ball well, so I'm not concerned at all about the Cavs blowing this game, but it'd be nice if the magnet ball calmed down a little bit so we can just get an easy win. So also after when there's no Don, Darius is averaging 25 points per game. Yeah.
That's what you would hope, though. You don't want Darius to kind of settle into that secondary type role. Like you need to have Darius games. These are good ways for him to kind of get into his groove, especially for a rougher Darius stretch that we've seen lately. Like it's like you're saying, like it's good to get these vintage performances from him, especially as we gear up towards the postseason. Because last postseason, DG was just coming in a shell of himself. So
yeah, it's everything I wanted to see tonight so far. See if they can get a stop here. Turned the ball over a couple times. letting Chicago creep back into the game. Oh, see, that's again when I watch like the rebounding stuff. Sometimes I need a second look at it, but it looked like DeAndre Hunter and whoever else was down there with him just kind of watching the ball, not finding a body and boxing out, and that's why that happens.
14-0 run. Wow.
Yeah.
In the last 2 minutes. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah, 14-0 run. The good thing is you were up 27. So, you gave yourself a huge cushion, but you can't let them continue to get momentum. It's back within striking distance.
That's why you pull the Ty Jerome lever. Let him work his magic.
Get him, DeAndre. Good look, though. Good look. Let's get a stop, man. The defense is not getting it done right now.
I would call timeout.
Yeah. Kenny's letting them work through it, I guess. Point Mobley. Chicago is spamming the get it to within 10 button. Come on, Ty. Give me a floater. Nice. Okay, we're back on board. One way or the other, we got 2 points. Now show me a defensive stop. Come on, guys.
All right, let's get it to 40.
All right. Bad sequence for Dean Wade. Honestly, last 3 plays were not great for Dean on defense.
I'm going to grab water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, bad foul there. Dean Wade didn't do a good job boxing out on the 3 plays ago. Late to rotate in semi-transition on the play before that. And then right there, if you're going to foul a guy at the rim, make sure he can't go up with it and convert the N1. So it's kind of like a lazy foul there. I wonder if maybe Dean Wade's a little tired. I don't know how many minutes he's played. I know he's been out with an illness for a while. Only played 3 minutes last time. It's possible that he's tired. Cavs team has become a joke. Choke harder than the 2016 Warriors. No, Jarrett. Don't hit the PS5 button yet. All right, they're fine. They're not going to choke this game. Look, NBA teams are not going to just roll over and get pummeled for 48 minutes. Like the fact that the Cavs had done that so many times this year is really the exception. They were up by 27. Chicago has fought back and made it a game again. Now, I don't think they're going to blow the game. I don't think they're going to blow it at all. I think we're going to probably be back up by 20 in a few minutes here. If they blow it, then we can talk about being more negative. But Aura, have we gotten any confirmation? What is with these outfits? I don't understand why everyone's wearing this right now. But yeah, the teams in the NBA aren't going to roll over and get pounded for 48 minutes. They're going to respond with some sort of punch, some sort of run. Now, this is a bigger run than I would have expected, right? Like did they go 16-0 at one point there? So that's not ideal, but the Cavs, they're still in the driver's seat here. I'm not ready to call them choke artists. I don't think the concern level should be high, Jared. That's all I'm saying. If you're concerned, that's fine. I'm not hating on you. I wouldn't be concerned yet. They're gonna win this game by double digits probably. If they lose the game, then I'll concede this. We can talk then.
We're talking torpedo bats.
Yeah, Kenny.
Yeah,
a little bit of optimism boost for the chat. We're panicking a little bit. Patrick Williams has brought us to the edge.
That can do that. A guy who people are upset about.
Patrick Williams magnet ball is a form of torture. It's a crime against humanity.
I think Patrick Williams was picked 1 pick before Okoro.
Yeah, I think so.
And I remember I was really on the Patrick Williams bandwagon. But it feels like the two of them are honestly on the same trajectory for development. Like the concerns are the same with both of them. It's like, can these players knock down threes consistently because they're really good athletes?
Nick's still up on the Celtics. That'd be sweet.
Oh, Okoro's definitely trending up. The huge difference, too, is that Patrick Williams got fed a ridiculous contract by Chicago, and the Cavs were able to get a reasonable one out of Okoro for arguably the same, skill set.
Another turnover there for the Cavs.
Working overtime.
Man.
Dude, when THT's cooking, though, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I need the Cavs to get serious again. Here we go. All right, good look for Sam. There we go, Sam. Thank you. They got it to within 10, and Sam said, wait a second. We gotta get this back up to double digits. We can't let them get.
Let's get that diff into double digits.
Yeah. Let's get that diff back where it needs to be. Here we go, DeAndre Hunter, an event play on defense. He's not passing.
Oh.
You know he's not passing. This man is. It's a good shot, but 3-on-1, 3-on-2 fast break. DeAndre Hunter is not passing the ball. He ended up taking a good shot, but
if he does 2K drills with his my player, he'd be losing points everywhere.
Yeah, teammate grade taking a bit of a hit.
Taking massive hits. Shot in transition, not stationary. Didn't plant both feet. Ignored advantage.
We all love big diffs, old kid. The bigger the diff, the better. That's what I say for my Cavs team.
I heard.
We already saw what Donovan Mitchell did to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander this season. Need I remind anybody?
I personally believe that average diffs have a lot to offer as well. Or below average diffs.
Some people say the smaller diffs are actually better, but I like the big.
They have more heart. That's what I've heard.
Oh, man. Yeah, as long as it's still positive. As long as the diff has a plus mark next to it. I did not see that.
Jalen Wells fall, but based off of the question, I can only assume it's really great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Ty.
Yeah.
Getting that diff back up.
Yeah, get it back up.
This just sounds
I'm looking
like
on Twitter
commercial.
now to see if I can find that. Well, I see Bub Carrington drops Tyrese Halliburton. That's good for the agenda.
Huge for the Bub boys.
The Bub boys.
I will never sell my stock on Bub.
He's a hooper. He's a hooper's hooper. You know, that's a NBA Twitter guy for sure. Okay, here's the.
Oh yeah, it's the trending name on my Twitter. So.
Oh, Sam Merrill steal. Whoa, Sam. Oh my goodness. Hey, let's go. That was hilarious. Sam Merrill said, I want no parts of getting met at the rim right here. That play does not work out 90% of the time, but thank God for Evan Mobley. Wells has been awesome this year. He's my rookie of the year pick. Yeah. So I was gonna ask, like, who is rookie of the year? Because I know Castle has kind of run away with it, but Wells was there for a while.
Now there's a Risa Shea push too.
Yeah, Risa Shea has been getting a push. I still haven't seen this clip.
I saw it. It's bad.
Yeah.
I've seen Castle as the lead for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just where the default's going to be, because I think in a class like this, I don't think people are going to do a lot of the research and just go off the generic, what they've been hearing. Because it kind of feels like it feels like pick your flavor for rookie of the year almost.
Oh, yeah, I just saw the play. That's awful, man.
Ben, who's your obscure all-rookie pick? Outside of Castle, Wells, and Risa Shea. Isaiah Collier. Damn. Love guards on Utah. When you have Colin Sexton and Jordan Clarkson as your mentor group, I mean, only good things happen. I think that should be rookie of the year within itself. You were able to succeed with that group. It's true, chat. We're in wall season. What? Quentin Post. Yeah. That Warriors offense was probably his best fit too. Fake third team. Wow. I think that should just be the article. Be like, I ignored all first and second team. I decided to go pick a third team instead. Everyone does 1 and 2. I picked my assistant coach of the year. Beat writer of the year, podcaster of the year. It's just podcaster Kendrick Perkins take of the year.
Does Zach Lowe not meet the games played eligibility for podcaster of the year? It's really
I don't know. It's like efficiency. Points per possession right now for Lowe is huge.
It's like a Wemby defensive player of the year thing. It's like, yeah, he definitely would have won it, but he got taken out, unfortunately. So now someone else is going to get it. Podcaster of the year.
An Embiid rookie of the year push when he went down. It's like, were those 30 games good enough? Were those 2 podcasts at the end of the year good enough to make him podcaster of the year?
He's up there. He's got to be up there. I feel like even though I haven't listened to them as much this year, I feel like Nikias and Steve Jones should just get podcaster of the year every year. They're the most ethical podcasters in the national media sphere.
You don't think it's Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco? You don't like their pick?
That was my second. That was my second. The Gilbert Arenas show, whatever that thing's called, that's up there, Good take.
Gilbert's Arena.
Gilbert's Arena, yeah. How could I forget?
I've never watched one episode, but I've heard more about that podcast than more podcasts that I listen to.
Yeah. Comeback pod of the year for me personally. This is just because I did not listen to them at all, and then I started listening to them again this year. The No Dunks guys, the starters, aka the starters. Didn't really listen to them for a couple years. Decided to start listening to them again this year. So they're my comeback podcasters of the year. They're still enjoyable. All right, I got some faith in this first guy, honestly. I don't know why. I feel like he might bury this. He's unsuspecting with the glasses and everything, but I think this is money.
He just threw a knuckler, dude.
Yeah, didn't have the
Blake Griffin.
Ooh, no. Also didn't have the urgency here. You gotta
I think that dude's sweating through his shirt.
You can't come up short on the half court shot. All right, you have to put all your energy into it. Oh, this is it. Ooh, yeah, the girl could surprise us.
She saw that Caitlin Clark video today, and she is like, "Stick it."
She's getting it up there. Oh, I like that she gave the energy though. Some people come up and it's like they don't really care about it.
This guy's got Riz. You know he's gonna stick. Okay.
Oh, he winked at the camera beforehand. Just couldn't keep it straight. Well, no winners today.
Damn. The only winner, vibes. KeyBank is like, thank Christ, we have handed out hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We're so deep in debt because everyone in Cleveland apparently can hit a half-court shot.
All right, next season we're gonna try full court from the Max Strus spot.
Yeah. Would you guys hit the shot? Or I'm going up there and I'm hitting it first try, nothing but net. How many points should I score in my rec league game? Ben, you have to give me like a player comp for yourself real quick so I can judge this. What's your NBA player comp? What's your play style?
Mario.
Then I'll give you an estimate.
Also, what time is your rec league game?
Well, Ben's in California, right?
Oh.
I think he is.
You know what? Based off Ben, you look like you'd be a California guy. With hair like that, you are definitely a California guy.
I'm like a slow wing, but I play point guard for my team. 18-19 last game. Okay, so yeah, Kyle Anderson. All right. Based off that, you know what? I would go with your average of the 18-19, but I'm gonna give you some extra motivation. I need 25 tonight. This is Ben Pfeiffer legacy game. I need 25 out of Ben Pfeiffer. If he can't give me 25, then his rec league team isn't going anywhere in the playoffs.
Oh, tie.
It would be a season high. Will you get big players make big time plays, Ben? I don't know how deep into the season you guys are, but I need 25 out of Ben.
You got to break.
That's my best
slow-mo
Kendrick
comps.
Perkins. That's my Kendrick Perkins analysis right there. If he's the real deal, I need 25 out of you. If the jumper falls, it can happen. Either way, let's get the dub, Ben. Let's get a dub. Wishing you luck. All right, let's see if the Cavs can get a dub, right? We're up 27. Let Chicago back in the game. Give me 5 minutes of being a serious basketball team, and you're probably up by 25 again. Or dilly-dally, and you can make this a game, and everyone will cry. I will say, I know a lot of people have felt a little worried about the Cavs' ability to close close games recently, just because they've lost a couple. I'm not glossing over those concerns, but I would like to keep the full picture in mind. For a while there, we were literally like the best clutch team in the NBA over the last 10 years, 12 years even. The 2013 Miami Heat were the only team with a better net rating in the clutch than the Cavs for most of this season. I'm sure that's changed. I haven't double checked. They've lost a couple close games, so I'm sure it's changed. But keep the full picture in mind, Gonna plug in my charger here.
The Cavs also going into games where they were winning in the fourth quarter were undefeated for 85% of this season until the Magic woke
50
up.
and 1. Yeah. I'm with Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they got this still. Listen, if it gets to a 5-point game, I'll start to get a little more nervous. Right now, I think they're good. Cavs, can they not close games anymore? I'd have to look at the actual stats and everything. I know they've lost a couple here over the last month or so I get it. But said the same thing Sunday, Cleveland Cavs. Sunday was different, okay? We didn't expect. They lost for a lot of reasons on Sunday, but the referees also kind of blew it. But they lost for more than just that.
You had issue with them deciding to review Donovan Mitchell's feet placement, but not the ball not leaving Zach LaVine's hands. That's weird.
They had to make sure the replay monitors were working,
Yeah, I get that.
I think we missed. Let's try this Donovan Mitchell play out. See if the cameras are still working.
The play-by-play announcing was so funny in that. Brad's like, "Oh, good, they're checking the call," and then he's like, "What? They're checking that?"
We were all so hype. I was like, yes, Donovan Mitchell's going to the line for 3 free throws. It's about to be a tie game. And then they said, actually, you're not going to the line at all. And we're still not taking away the Zach LaVine points. Oh, responded right back with a 3. Yeah, that was well timed. The DeAndre Hunter 3. Good pass from Mobley. Doesn't lead to anything, though.
Oh,
Dean's getting a little pass here.
Dean, what's happening here?
Those Dean Wade pump fakes might as well mean nothing.
They don't hit at all.
He's not shooting the ball.
The scouting report says not to jump at those.
Sam Merrill. Save me, Sam Merrill. Cavs still shooting the lights out from 3. Just Chicago is also bearing 3s.
I don't know if I've seen a more competent shooter have less confidence in putting it up. Do you know what I mean?
He's like a legit shooter,
Yeah. Usually,
when Okoro's gun shy, you get it. Yeah. It's like Okoro's a little hesitant to take it. You're like, all right, I want you to shoot it, but I understand. Dean Wade, you're like, dude, I've seen you score 20 points in a quarter.
He's like, that was just a weird night. I don't know what was up with me, man. The full moon, it really changes you.
Yeah. Whoa, the best friends. The power of friendship. Just like that. Look at it. The diff is back to 16. We're so back. Now let's be serious for the next couple minutes, right? If you come back out and you're messing around, then this game could be a game again. But the Cavs lock in for a second and they're back up 16. Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley, starts with him. Ty Jerome might be the first alley-oop he's converted this year. Actually, I don't think that's true. He's thrown a couple to the bigs, but I feel like Ty Jerome's alley-oops are not the best part of his game.
How dare you? While we're trying to build this 6 Man of the Year narrative, this is the type of propaganda you put out?
Well, I don't see Peyton Pritchard throwing lobs either. Maybe he does.
Luke Cornett, you don't have to.
Yeah. You guys see the Wolves Bucks games? Yeah, Jalen Wells, tough fall.
Yeah, I don't know what. I haven't seen any. Oh, Bub Carrington drops Halliburton. I know you mentioned that earlier, but
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
hell yeah.
Yeah, he got carried off on a stretcher. Not Halliburton. Bob didn't do that much to Halliburton. That would be crazy. Snatch his ankles and he gets carried off in a stretcher.
Halliburton has been removed from the game. Bub Carrington designation.
You guys remember when Jason Tatum sent George Niang like 16 feet on a snatchback? I mean, he pushed him a little bit, but George Niang went sprawling. Was that this year?
To
was
be
that
fair,
last season? I don't remember.
Any momentum for George Niang going backwards, there's a lot of gravity working against him.
All of his momentum. Yeah, he had his legs up in the air, just flying down the court. Yeah, Niang. That was tough.
For that.
Oh yeah.
I will not say whether or not my seat rumbled a little bit, and I was on the opposite side of the floor.
Machiavelli has put his foot down. He said, "I'm tired." He said, "This has been far too many Niang mentions. I've had enough reminiscing today. We have moved on." I'm with you, Machiavelli. We can move on. Although those Niang falls were pretty electric.
I mean, I just specifically remember the compilation you made. I think it was when he either like right the month before he was traded or right after you made Farewell Sweet Prince. And it was
just all of his falls.
If we had the copyright to I Will Remember You by McLaughlin, like chef's kiss.
Yeah. Yeah, and as Ben says, that was wonderful. I'd get a DM from Ben, and I'd see that it was like a video. And before I even click the DM, I'm just like, this is gonna be Niang doing one of the worst things I've ever seen a basketball player do. I could just guarantee it. And sure enough, I'd open it up, and there's George Niang flailing around, not getting a rebound, doing God knows what on a basketball court. So yeah, George Niang. Hope he does great in Atlanta. Would love to play them in the playoffs, honestly, just to be on the opposite side of that. But in all seriousness, though, Niang seems like a great dude. He has a good podcast. He's had good moments this year. Good shooter. Just has his limitations. Yeah, he did. He cooked Paolo.
Are you putting up George Niang for Podcaster of the Year? Is that your nom? Or is it Playoff P? Podcast P?
Rookie Podcaster of the Year. We'll put George Niang in there.
Most Improved Podcaster, Playoff P by discontinuing it.
Here we go, Cavs. Keep it up. Keep it up, Strus. Let's go. One seed. Here we come.
That anymore.
So I saw the Thunder were losing. I don't know if they're still losing. I know it would be like a miracle for us to get the 1 seed from OKC right now, but I'm just keeping an eye on stuff. They're up by 10 now, so never mind. They were down by 4 earlier. They're up by 10 now. So yeah, we're not going to get the number 1 overall seed.
Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter podcast. Best friends.
In all seriousness, music might be onto something, though, because Jarrett Allen has been appearing on podcasts recently. He went on the Old Man and the Three, and he went on something else. I can't remember whose podcast it was.
Oh, The Ringer. It was Group Chat.
Yeah. So he's been entering the podcast game. I think Jarrett could be a good podcaster. I wonder if he would stick with the NBA or if he would go in, because he's been talking about books on both podcasts. So like, would he go into like media stuff or would he be an NBA podcaster? I don't know. But Jarrett, I could see Jarrett doing it.
I forgot Jarrett gave up video games, so now he's like all in books. I was gonna say he'd probably have podcasts being like, "These tariffs are really affecting the Switch 2's pre-order date, and it's really messing me up."
I could see Jarrett Allen being a Twitch streamer. I think maybe he would go to Twitch rather than do a podcast. Like he'd just play Pokemon on Twitch. I could see Jarrett Allen doing that.
Welcome to my Emerald Nuzlocke. This is my 5th episode.
Ben finally finished the WNBA mock draft. Let's go. Like I said, everyone, make sure you're following Ben.
Is Paige Becker is locked in at 1, I assume. I assume after this run, she definitely is. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Backdoor cut.
Yeah, I feel like there was a weird push, though, at the beginning of this season for Beckers not to be. I think it was just the question marks of how she would look this final season. I say as a person who's not ultra dialed into women's college ball, but I watch WNBA stuff. Which is weird, because you'd think living in Connecticut, that would be what I watch.
Yeah. Shameless tanking by Toronto. That's an evergreen statement for like the last month of basketball. From what I understand, they've just been not playing any of their guys.
But they're still
like the
winning.
Half. Yeah. Your mic switched
Them
again.
in the Nets.
Oh. I can still hear you. It's not doing the like underwater thing, which is good. Yeah, we can still hear you. It's just it switched, but now you're
the Nets and Raptors are competing for worst tank job attempt of the season because it's clear that their goals are not being fulfilled by the roster.
Yeah,
the Nets are shipping people off, and they're still winning.
One of my favorite developments of all that is that for a lot of the year, all those teams were trying to tank. And the 76ers were trying to talk themselves into this not being a lost season, and they still couldn't catch, like Brooklyn and Chicago and these other teams. Obviously, they've completely waived it now. Like the last month or so, they've been out of it. But for most of the season, you were like, well, eventually, the Nets, they're not really trying to win this year. The Sixers will be able to get back into the picture, and then maybe they give someone a hard first-round series. It's like, nope, can't catch them. Just can't. Cam Thomas is burying people. It never materialized.
Do you know what Philly's record like in the last 25 is?
Jeez, I don't even like 3-22. I don't even want to know.
Yes, that is
really 3-22. Wow. Oh my goodness, dude, that is atrocious.
Tony, in his bag.
In my bag. Honestly, I thought I was being way too harsh.
No, yeah.
Before I forget, Hustle 35 asked, should we be worried about Mitchell's ankle? All the reporting on that is saying that it's not a big deal. They're calling it a mild ankle sprain. Donovan Mitchell continued to play in that game after spraining it, which is always a good sign. And listen, he might not play the rest of the regular season. Maybe he will. But I wouldn't care if he just sits the rest of the season, though. But it sounds like he'll be fine.
I feel like that's kind of – I would see no reason to play him.
Yeah, especially if they lock up the 1 seed right here.
That's what I'm saying.
Like they're on pace of doing. We have until April 20th before the playoffs begin for the Cavs. A DG3 probably should be the dagger there. So we have 12 days off before the playoffs start. Woo! Mobley, let's go. It's a Cavalanche right now. If we get a 3 here, it's a full-on Cavalanche. Garland. Whoa! Let's go. There we go. Jarrett, this is why you gotta maintain the faith. We're back. We're so back. It got a little scary there for a second, but the Cavs just rattled off a Cavalanche. Now the diff is like 20-something. We're good. Number 1 seed is ours.
Let's get it to 40, fellas.
Yeah, yeah. Keep running it up. I think the 2-way guys are out tonight. Let me check the injury report, see if we get a chance at anybody here.
I don't know. It looks like Tyson's in warmups.
That's why I wanted to look at it, because I thought that everyone was out, but Tyson might be available.
Get some Naquan Tomlin minutes.
We get the Okiki debut. Yeah.
Okiki Hive, let's rise.
He hasn't played yet, right?
No,
I don't think he has.
Why would he play in that Sacramento game? It's like, we need to bring Classic Age of Emergency. Okiki, get out there.
Okay, so, damn, Tomlin is out, but Emoni and Travers are available. So Tomlin's the only 2-way guy out. No Craig Porter, but Tyson's not on here. So Emoni, Travers, and Tyson, get ready to run the Tristan Thompson garbage time lineup. Let's get this net rating up.
We do have
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Jeez. Just tough. Replaced him so quickly. That's tough.
I thought we were going to hang it up in the rafters first.
Yeah.
He beat us to it.
We're going to give Karras his ring and everything at the end of the year. I thought we'd at least keep his jersey.
I know.
Good vibes in Cleveland.
A Ty Jerome poster. Love to see it.
Well, while we're here, and there's, the game is basically over. The Cleveland Cavaliers are about to clinch the number 1 seed. I'm about to do my shameless plug of the night. I have launched a Patreon account for anyone who wants to help support my local independent Cavs coverage. If you like the Junkyard Pod, if you like my YouTube channel, there's no obligation to become a member. It's absolutely just something extra if you want to help out, support. You will get at least 4 bonus videos each month. We're trying to do 1 a week. I might even add more to that. And you'll also get ad-free versions of every regular Junkyard Pod episode. So if you're on YouTube and you're tired of seeing the ads that play on YouTube, you can watch or listen to it on Patreon, ad-free. On top of that, if you become a member, you'll also get your name included in a little shout-out in every single podcast episode. So again, it's not at all required. Nothing will change on YouTube or Playback, but if you want to help support this and make it all possible, you guys are the absolute best. I'm going to drop the link here in just a second if anyone wants to check that out. Here. Gotta share the link. Sorry, guys. Unk moment. Thought I had it, and then I posted the link in the chat, and it didn't look like a link. So now it's looking like a link. Should be a little embed there. So yes. Anyone who's able to support, I appreciate it so much. And even if you don't become a member, just being here in the Playback or the YouTube chat watching, we appreciate you. Is P. Giddy still dating that minor? What a transition. I don't think he is. So I mean, you don't have to give him credit where it's due, but I don't think he is anymore. Hope he's not.
Were we ever going to give him credit anyway?
No, we weren't. So as far as I know, he isn't. Yeah, I don't even think he did. Okay, we're not opening up the case. We don't know. I'm not adding to this discourse, but yeah, Josh Giddey. What can you say? What can you really say?
What do we need to say?
Nothing needs to be said. Most dramatic walk-off of the season. Oh yeah. Let's go Guards. Shout out to the Guardians. Yeah, cool guy. We have dropped the Patreon. It's happened. What's on the Patreon? Some people have been asking for some special content. It's going to be bonus videos, basketball videos, of course. Cool guy. Get your head out of the gutter there. But no, it's just going to be a bonus podcast episode every week, pretty much. And then I'm hoping at some point to also do like just quick film reviews, like basketball film. Because YouTube has given me problems with copyright. And I don't know what the Patreon copyright stuff is like, but hopefully it's not as bad as the YouTube. So yeah, that's all it's going to be. You'll get your name added to the podcast and a little, intro thing and ad-free versions of it. So again, no pressure anybody. This is the last time I will shamelessly plug it on this stream, but I will be plugging it moving forward. So get ready to hear the market pitch every time, the sales pitch. But yeah. Thanks for everyone just for being in the chat. That's all we need is just the support in the chat. So thank you guys. It's called the Big Diff level membership. Yeah, that's where you get that. Yeah, Dylan. People do like full movie commentaries and everything. Yeah, Ben says doubt Patreon will copyright anything. So, yeah, Cavs beating the brakes off Chicago now. The number 1 seed is going to be ours in just a couple minutes here. We'll also be doing a quick podcast after this game, too. Just a quick 10-minute post-game recap that we've been doing. That's not a Patreon thing, just our regular Junkyard Pod here. Doing rewatch with Tony Pesta, yeah. We made it all the way through this game, and I didn't mention that Robert Pattinson is potentially being cast in Dune 3. We made it so far without me mentioning this. It's been on my mind. Did you see this, Corey?
No, I did not.
He hasn't signed on yet, but all reports are suggesting Robert Pattinson is going to star in Dune 3. This is maybe the greatest day ever. This is maybe the best day that there's ever been in the history of the universe. This is I couldn't imagine a more Tony-coded casting than that. I literally almost lost my mind. I haven't read the 3rd book, so everyone keep in mind I don't really know what he's going to be, but he's supposed to be the villain of Dune 3. And I'm just... cinema. I'm already seated. The movie doesn't come out until next year, 2 years from now, whenever. I'm already seated. They're trying to kick me out, but I'm there. I'm going to be in the theater. I'm leaving the Playback stream to go secure my seat right after this, and I'm not getting up. All right. So I can't wait. Yeah, the Dune assist, music with the biggest assist of the night. Honestly, dude, that's a dream. Robert Pattinson, he is. Timothy Chalamet, he's been the white boy of the year for a couple years in a row now. Robert Pattinson was the OG white boy of the year. So, in all seriousness, I'm excited for that. That's an awesome casting. There's the Dune spiel for tonight.
I have no notes.
Man, Dune 3, that it's gonna be the best trilogy ever made. So is this the year of the cool white boy?
I think this is the year that the cool white boy should be put away. I think white boys are having too much time in the sun.
Chet Hanks kind of started this off, and I feel like it's all been downhill since. The white boy summer, that thing, whenever that was. Yeah. I feel like we've been. Oh, here's Okiki. Here's the crew we've been waiting for.
Oh, he's 18. Yeah. Why did ESPN say he was number 3?
Oh yeah. We need Batman 2 before anything. Batman 2 has never seen the light of day. No,
they had that Joker sequel, and they're like, you know what? Let's ice this real quick.
Did somebody say ice? Maybe we get Mr. Ice in this sequel. People are hoping for
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. Yeah, I knew I was getting that wrong. I knew I was getting it wrong.
Brody, I'm not even
Mr.
a
Freeze.
DC
Mr.
guy.
Freeze, same thing. Yeah. I got too caught trying to make the pun that I forgot his name. Is it okay, Kay? Have I been saying it wrong? My bad. That's my bad. Yeah, Mr. Cold Man.
I always thought it was Okiki too.
Yeah. Well, I thought Jackson told me it was Okiki. Anyways, I was going somewhere with that. Yeah, the Batman has been delayed for like a while, but I do think it's gonna come out. It's just we're just gonna have to wait a couple years, unfortunately.
With that whole James Gunn thing, though, is he under that umbrella?
No idea. I don't even know.
Because like James Gunn is like completely in charge of DC now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it sounded like for a while there we were gonna get like our 18th Batman, like they were gonna do another Batman. Hopefully they just stick with Robert. I think he's
they gave it to your boy Tim.
I don't know if he could pull off Batman. I don't know if he's quite capable of that. No, I don't think so. Timothy Chalamet Batman might be a step too far.
What if it's Timothy Chalamet in his Bob Dylan voice?
Midwest Batman.
Wonka Riddler? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Hey, maybe he could be the Riddler. I don't know. That would be, having them be adverse, they're heroes and villains and Dune, and then flipping it for Batman. Maybe that would bring us back to the golden age.
Release them on the same day. Make a new Barbenheimer.
Yeah. Dude, that would be crazy. Release both those on the same day.
Feel like you're watching the same 2 actors in 2 different films.
Corey, have you seen the Minecraft movie?
Not yet, no.
Yeah. I
did just see Drop.
Oh, okay. I keep seeing the preview for that. It looks good. What did you think of it?
It comes out on Friday, but I did the mystery movie where they show a week early.
Like an early one?
Is
it all right?
Like it. No.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I thought the premise was really good, but the execution was really bad. It kind of, like how the issue with the monkey at times was that it was a little tone deaf in like how it didn't go one way or the other.
Yeah.
It actually made it a problem, but it actually was good in both. They just never could get it to work. I feel like Drop was trying to do the same thing, except they threw like 9 different like weird factors into the movie. Like they made it. It's like something you should watch when it hits streaming, but I would not pay a single dollar to go see it again.
Yeah. Tyson with a 3 here. Yeah, that's one that like I was going to maybe see if I had free time, and I've already seen the other movies that I want to see. Like I want to see Sinners with Michael B. Jordan. That looks awesome. I know there's a couple other things. Just back to Minecraft. I had no interest seeing the Minecraft movie, but I kind of feel like I have to see it now.
I want to see it.
It looks insane. I'm hearing. I don't want little kids to be throwing popcorn in my theater when I'm there, but I've heard that the crowds are a lot of fun. Everyone's just laughing at the movie because of how bad it is. I kind of feel like I have to see it now.
Yeah, I've seen those videos too. And I think even the people who hate the movie say that you need to go for the theater
experience.
Because it's just hilarious. Like, everyone's laughing at how bad it is, pretty much.
I've seen like the chicken jockey scene like 5 times on Twitter. And then Jack just saying, first we mine, then we craft. Let's craft.
It's I'm getting FOMO. I have to experience it. Tony, we should do a movie night on Playback. That could be fun. Some form of commentary in the summer would be fun.
I would totally
we'll figure out
that.
Yeah, we'll figure out like the best way to do it, if it's Playback or YouTube stream or whatever, but that could be fun during the summer.
I would imagine Jackson's going to want a Star Wars rewatch.
Yeah. It would most likely be something where like we wouldn't have the movie on screen. It would have to be something that we all just, join the stream. All right, 3, 2, 1, everyone hit play on Netflix or whatever.
The chat would spoil the movie by 20 seconds.
We'd have to all just watch it simultaneously, because I think anywhere you go, we'd probably. Anyways, the Cavs just clinched the number 1 seed. Let's focus on the Cavs for a second, because we can talk movies another time. And actually, I am familiar with Will Neff. He's hilarious. I love Will Neff. I love the Fear End podcast. They're awesome. But the Cavs, the magic number is 0. They're the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I want to save our takes for the podcast. We can get that started in a second, but I had to recognize it while it was happening, while it was on screen. The magic number just changed. The dream season, it's here. Just focusing on the regular season, at least. The dream season, it's been almost completed. We got the number 1 seed, what we're looking for. We still got a couple more games left, but this has been such an amazing year, and I don't think anybody expected us to be the number 1 seed.
Wow, that lucky guy gets his hat signed on clinching day by Evan Mobley.
Yeah. Okay, cool guy. He does it on Discord. I'm going to look into it. Like I said, that'll be a summer. That'll be something we do over the summer, because we're going to be playoffs are coming up, man. We're going to be locked into basketball, but I'll keep you guys updated. We're definitely going to make sure that the Playback community continues to have some content here during the off season. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Cavs box score on ESPN real quick, and I'll share my screen, and we'll do a quick 10-minute recap of that game. I know there wasn't much game to talk about. 1, because the Cavs were up by 20 for most of it, and 2, we were talking about everything other than the Cavs, but we'll still be able to get some takes off.
We're talking about Josh Giddey.
It's true. We did. We opened and shut that case
quicker than the NBA could. Honestly,
yeah,
we're kind of ahead of the times. We're like, he did it, and then we closed it.
Who's on grades today? Honestly, I don't think I'm signed up for either of the post game recaps, but I'll check right now. I'm doing a video breakdown. Okay, you have the grades. Yeah, so we'll make this quick, so then you can do that. I don't want to keep you. I don't want you to be up all night
tossing and
yeah, it's
what should I give?
Jackson's doing the recap, Corey's on the grades, and I'm doing a film breakdown for tomorrow. But let me share my screen here.
I'm going to give Chumo Kiki an A+ for being the clinching factor.
He really did. Technically, he was the one who clinched it, you know?
The Cavs couldn't clinch this game if Okiki wasn't on the floor. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't. That's the thing. Okay, is it showing up yet? I still hear the Cavs game.
No, I still see fireworks for Cavs win.
Here, let me remove the Cavs
music.
Stream.
How could you? What the hell, dude? I did ask for it.
Okay, there we go. So the Cleveland Cavaliers, they've done it. After teasing us for a little while, they have finally clinched the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, something that I don't even think really the most optimistic Cavs fans entering the year thought they were going to do. I don't remember exactly what my best case scenario was for the Cavs. I think maybe I picked them winning 58 games, and maybe that could be good for the 1st or 2nd seed. I think I picked them to be the 2nd seed, but winning 65 games now, or 64? Is this win number 64?
63.
Is it only 63? That's the updated one. All right. Well, I was a little too high on them, I guess. But either way, winning 60 plus. I should have just said that instead of exposing myself. I should have just said winning 60 plus. It's way easier. But them winning this many games, even the most optimistic Cavs fans couldn't have seen it coming. Granted, sure, the last month of the season hasn't been as electric and on fire as the first half of the season was, but the first half of the season was like legitimately one of the best teams we've ever seen for a while there. So it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that the Cavs can finally get that, the monkey off their back. They're the number 1 seed. These next few games don't matter at all. We can rest Donovan Mitchell. We can, if they dilly-dally, if they're not locked in, it's not as big of a deal. We've taken care of business. But Corey, what's your biggest takeaway, not only just from this specific game, but finally getting the number 1 seed, finally clinching it?
I think unless worst case scenario really happened for this Cavs team and there was an implosion that we didn't foresee going in this last closing stretch, it was going to be a pretty uphill battle for the Cavs to lose this number 1 spot. But it's good to get, obviously, just to get it out of the way, not have it something that kind of hangs over this team in the closing games, but also just to win in the fashion that they did against the Bulls. Well, yes, the Bulls did cut a basically 25-plus point lead down to less than 10 during a stretch of this game. The Cavs were able to respond, kind of generate the same separation in score the way they did in the first half, which was generate some turnovers from the Bulls, kill them in transition, get hot from 3 for various points in the game. I mean, they started the second quarter going 5 for 6 from 3 to create their first gap. And then they did something similar to that in the second half as well. So just to kind of hit that right note, I know it's the Bulls. I know they were completely battered by injury. So take it for what you will, but wins are wins. And when the Cavs win in the fashion that they should win by, I take that as a win more than kind of excusing it for other reasons.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you play who's in front of you, right? And with the Cavs right now, their record down the stretch of the season was never really going to be that important. It's more so the process, the way that they've been playing, and they haven't looked too focused as of late, right? Like they've taken their eye off the ball a couple times. There was a moment there, like you said, where the Bulls kind of rallied back and they got it to within single digits, and we were feeling a little anxious. The chat was definitely feeling a little anxious because it's like, like they took their eye off the ball again. They've kind of let their foot off the gas a few times here recently, but all it took was one more Cavalanche, Darius Garland hitting a bunch of threes, Evan Mobley, big block, a couple steals, like just everyone on this team clicking, and all of a sudden the diff is back up to 20. And so this was the type of game where the Cavs were just throwing haymakers all night long. And considering that it feels like it's been a while since we've seen them do that, it was pretty sweet. I remember at halftime, I looked at the box scores, and I believe off the top of my head, this is just the 5th time all season the Cavs have got above 50% from the 3-point line, which, I mean, doing that 5 times in a year is pretty great. But it's been a while since they've did it, is my point. They've been in a little bit of a 3-point shooting slump. I think they've been 28th in 3-point percentage since the All-Star break, maybe, or just over the last 2 weeks. Someone tweeted this recently. They've been near the bottom of the league in 3-point percentage for a stretch here. So seeing them get back on track, Darius Garland especially, this was maybe the number one thing I wanted to see them do tonight, other than, clinch the number 1 seed, is I needed to see Darius Garland have a big game, get his 3-point shooting touch back, look like the Darius Garland that I come to expect from the beginning of the season when he was in all NBA discussions. He has been slumping a little bit before this, right? Like his points per game, I think, are down by almost 5 points per game since the All-Star break. His shooting percentages have dipped drastically during the stretch as well. So here's a game where Donovan Mitchell is out with an ankle injury, which doesn't seem like it's going to be too much of a long-term concern. I think he'll probably rest the next few games. I don't see any reason to play him anymore in the regular season. Just get him right for the playoffs. But without Donovan Mitchell out there, perfect opportunity for Darius Garland to come in and have a big game. And 28 points, 6 of 10 3-point shooting, 5 assists. I mean, every single time down the floor, he was getting past Chicago's defense, doing whatever he wanted. He was throwing some nasty one-handed passes, step-back threes. It just looked like a vintage DG game, and that's exactly what I wanted to see from him in this situation.
Yeah, especially, I think it makes a lot of sense for the fan worry to kind of mount on and pile on, especially, in the fashion of these losses and to what honestly has been lesser competition. And it's also you can break it down to individual level as well. And Garland was someone who post All-Star break has kind of been slipping from what we were talking about this on the stream, that he went from someone that was flirting with a 3rd team All-NBA nomination to kind of now in kind of mired in an up and down, turbulent second half performance to the season. So performances like this are really inspiring for the Cavs' hopes in the postseason, because we're basically 2 postseasons removed now from Darius Garland playing postseason basketball. I'm not going to count last season as Darius Garland, because as we've seen, the difference between last year and this year is like a seismic gap between the two. So, Gabe, I think we need to see what a healthy, fully confident Garland can do in the postseason, because I think for all the talk of how Donovan Mitchell really will dictate how far the Cavs go with his performances, Garland and Mobley and even Allen are also equally as instrumental, because I think if the formula plays out the same as in past seasons where Donovan Mitchell kind of we have to ride Donovan Mitchell through all the rounds and just cross our fingers for a big Garland, Mobley, or Allen game, then we're back to square one, no matter how they close out this season or how well they performed in the regular season. If they revert, then games like this prove that that might not be the case.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can win games in the playoffs if Darius isn't playing that good, but you're not winning series. You're not winning multiple series, and you're certainly not getting to the championship if Darius Garland isn't a legit number 2 option, if he isn't capable of putting up a game like this, 28 points, 10 of 17. Like, even if Mitchell is going, like, we look at it, it's like, okay, well, the Cavs don't want to be overly reliant on Mitchell. If he's not playing good, the game can't, you can't be screwed. But even if Mitchell is playing good, getting that extra boost from Darius Garland at the same time is what takes the Cavs from being a very good team to being like, oh my God, they could beat Boston if Garland and Mitchell are both clicking at the same time. We've seen that more this year than really ever before. And by the way, just to point it out, 28 points in 29 minutes. This was efficient as hell from Darius Garland. Just came in, got it done in very little time. And that's what we saw all year before the All-Star break. So just seeing a little proof of concept again, just a little reminder, like, all right, that guy's still there. He's still in there. He looked very confident tonight, moving around the floor very well, looked really healthy. We're going to wrap up this episode here quick, but I want to talk about the bench, because 18 points from Ty Jerome. And again, just like I said with Darius Garland, 18 points in 22 minutes. He just comes in off the bench, does his job, calls it a night. Plus 23, team high. Absolutely killed it. The 3-point shooting, the floaters, getting into the lane, the assists. He had a lob to his best friend, DeAndre Hunter, who, by the way, had 17 points off the bench in just 26 minutes. Only 2 of 8 shooting from 3, but he just does such a good job of finding ways to score at all 3 levels. The mid-range shot, running the floor. Like, DeAndre Hunter has been such a plus to this team, and getting Ty Jerome back and healthy has been great for this team as well.
Yeah, the bench obviously is pivotal for this team. It's probably the biggest difference maker between this year and last year's team. Ty Jerome is truly, in my opinion, I think most fans' opinions, the difference maker off this bench. DeAndre Hunter coming into the fold late also has, but I could see situations where DeAndre Hunter, we've been noting in the streams that DeAndre Hunter's kind of someone that sometimes the ball kind of sticks with him once it's given. It's very rare for him to give up the ball unless it's a blatant reason to. I say that, but he is also the guy who pulled up from 3 on a 3-on-1 break pretty much.
Yeah.
So, but Ty Jerome performances like this are huge. I would be honestly shocked at this point if Ty Jerome doesn't show up in the postseason. Now, I'm not saying that I don't expect teams to attempt to target him defensively, because I just think that's the shtick that guards get in the postseason. It's like, how can we attack this guy? Ty Jerome's not that level of guard where I think it's going to be as easy as some teams might foresee, but it's good. I think because we've had this debate a decent amount throughout the season, is Ty Jerome going to be that X factor player for the Cavs off the bench? And I think at some point you just can't argue with the efficiency numbers anymore. And games like this kind of prove that too. Being the team leader in plus minus, I know plus or minus is kind of a nitpicky stat sometimes, but it's something it's not just a number. It's something that you see too. It's not like you don't leave a game going like, oh, Ty Jerome was the leader in plus minus. That was weird. I didn't pick up on that at all. It's always something that it truly does translate to the film of what you watch. So Ty Jerome, I think games like this are just a reminder of why the bench can look flat in games that he's not there, because he comes in, makes an impact, and just jets quickly. Like he's not even in, like you said, for long stretches. It's like, goes in, puts in like 5 good minutes, leaves. impact immense.
He plays with so much confidence, so much authority with every single thing that he does that, like, yeah, you're right. I have no doubts that Ty Jerome will show up in the playoffs, or at the very least, like, I'm not going into it wondering whether or not he's going to look like Ty Jerome when the playoffs start. Now, of course, basketball's unpredictable. Maybe he ends up sucking in the playoffs for all we know, but I'm certainly giving him the benefit of the doubt with the way that he plays. Again, it's just the confidence. It's this every single thing he does. Like when he hits the most ridiculous, absurd floater you've ever seen in your life, he's like, yeah, I knew that was going in. You could just tell. It's like he knew that was going in when he let it go. And meanwhile, you're watching it. You're like, what are you even doing? You're horizontal to the floor and you're like throwing this up behind your head. It's crazy, the shots that Ty Jerome makes, but he truly believes in himself to that degree. Like he's just that confident of a player. And so the last thing that I want to hit on here too, the bigs tonight absolutely crushed it. And Evan Mobley back flirting with a triple-double once again, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Only 1 block surprises me because I swear I felt like he was every other play contesting something. I really surprised. Thought he had more than 1 block, but
the campaign is
Evan
over.
Mobley, yeah, the campaign's over. That's it. He doesn't, we need at least 3 blocks a game down the stretch for him to win Defensive Player of the Year because, Draymond Green, he's just putting up crazy numbers. You look at it, it's
and
like
podcasts.
every night. Yeah, every night Draymond's got like 1 steal and like maybe a block every other game. So it's just, I don't know how Evan Mobley's going to compete. But in all seriousness, seeing him fill up the box score here in a game where, again, no Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, 18 field goal attempts. He only made 8 of them, but like, dude, I'm here for Evan Mobley being a shot chucker sometimes. Let's see it. I want Evan Mobley to keep shooting, be aggressive, 7 assists, get the ball to Evan Mobley, let him decide some of this stuff. So I thought that was great. And then Jarrett Allen too. 3 steals, 2 blocks. He was awesome tonight, even though only 29 minutes, 12 points, 9 rebounds. The stats aren't going to jump off super crazy because no one really played that much tonight. No one played above 30 minutes, which again, Kenny, great job all year keeping the guys fresh, getting them ready for the playoffs. So any final takeaways here?
No, I do want to go off your Mobley point because I think that was it was a good reminder that last season, like I think, or just Evan Mobley's career in general, it's always been, we've been more discouraged by his lack of attempts in games. So like you said, like we would have killed for an 8 for 18 night from Evan Mobley for years, just being like, at least he's trying stuff, because it felt like he was just so conservative in his attempts in prior seasons. Once again, just another reminder of how far along he's come offensively. So while the stat sheet, you look at 8 for 18, go like, wasn't the greatest, but 21 points on 8 for 18, 3 of 6 from 3. A great night for Evan in most seasons of his career. The fact that we're saying like this was an okay night for Mobley is a testament.
Yeah. You just said it right there. He went 3 of 6 from deep tonight, and we basically just didn't talk about it at all until you like briefly mentioned it. If Evan Mobley hit 2 threes last year, I would have opened up this podcast like throwing confetti in the air, like going crazy. Like he's here. He's hitting threes, but he hit 3 tonight, and it's just like, oh yeah, Evan Mobley, 8 for 18, not even a good shooting night. It's like he hit 3 3-pointers. He went 3 of 6 from the 3-point line. We would have been losing our minds, but guess what? He hit 4 the other day. Yeah, Dylan just said it. He hit 4 the other night. I think he's done that 4 or 5 times this year. Didn't do it a single time in any other season of his career. He's doing it, multiple times this year. 3 3-pointers is just, it's business as usual. Again, do I think he's Kevin Durant? No, he's not quite there. But the leap has been tangible. We can see it now. This man is going to be an all-NBA player. The Cavs have locked up the number 1 seed, and that's going to do it for this little post-game pod. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to the Playback chat for being here. I just released my Patreon account, so if anybody wants to support the show, then please go follow that link. You'll get ad-free versions of every podcast episode plus 4 bonus episodes. So I really, truly appreciate anyone who follows that. And thanks for watching. Can't wait for the playoffs. Go Cavs. All right, let me clip that last minute right there for the YouTube. And that's going to do it, y'all. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Make sure you check out Fear the Sword. Corey's going to have the grades, and Jackson probably has a recap already up. See you guys.